Lager Premiership, Scotland versus Manika Diamonds, I think it's football all over.
Yeah, it is, indeed, it is quite exciting. And then there's another individual joining me, and I've been sternly warned to introduce him properly with the most titles when it comes to the Premier League, joined by Juvon Achafa. Honored to have you on board today. Are you excited about today's game?
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. I'm very, very excited. Don't listen to Stan. You know he's my big brother from long ago. So every time when he says something, you know he's going to be spiced up. But we are going to witness something that is very, 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 very interesting. Because look, we are now in the World Cup fever, and then there is this Premier Soccer League, and we are watching Scotland. It's going to be a battle between the championship and the relegation bound. So it's going to be a very, very exciting match.
Yeah, Sandra, indeed. Just to butt in there, I think let's give him his props while he's still alive. He's the most decorated player in the PSL Lager Premiership. That we have to tell the people out there. You must know that.
Yeah, you must know. I think it's the depth that he brings to the analysis side when we look at our games locally. So today it is Maviravira taking on the Gem Boys. Like he said, it is a top of the table team that is Scotland taking on a 17th place side, Manika Diamonds, who haven't had it easy in this season, but it's a lot to unpack. We start off with the home side, that is Scotland. The question is the winning formula. You look at even in their prior season, 2025, it is the second half of the season where they were able to step up to get to the top of the table. What are your thoughts? What's going on when it comes to Scotland? Is it a culture? Is it the coaches that they bring on board?
No. Being someone who has worked with Coach Norman before, I know when it comes to this season, he knows, he's a person who knows how to deal with certain situations because he has been winning championships all along. So it means he knows the pressure that is there. Like he said before when you were interviewing him, he just said, football is a pressure game. It's always pressure, pressure. Even if you're playing, boys, there's pressure for points, pressure for whatever. Even in life, there's pressure. So I believe they can handle the pressure because they are top of the table.
Yeah, indeed.
Let's not take that away from them.
Yeah, top of the table indeed. But also looking at that squad, what has brought them to this point is their ability to make sure that they minimize the number of goals that get scored in the back of the net. 6 goals only that they have been scored, that they have conceded, and this time around 7 games without conceding a single goal. Talk about that back line and the goalkeeper.
And I think Nelson Chadga and the back four have done a great job. I mean, you've got to give it to Mamad Isak Twala. Then you've got Kelvin Moyo and Peter Mudua. A lot has not been said about these guys, but they've done a great job to keep a clean sheet. I mean, in the last 5 games, they haven't conceded. They've scored 11 goals. That alone just tells you that this is a team on fire. Of course, they've also got Panasem Timbanyoka. He's also another player, and Moses Mseba. These are players that are not really talked about. Because guys talk of the Kamabila, Knowledge Msona, and Walter Msona. But these guys, they do all the dirty job, and I think they've done a great job.
Yeah, I can reiterate what you're saying. He's an unsung hero. If you look at what they have been doing to him, he knows the system. Because he's someone who has worked with Coach Norman before.
Yes,
so he knows the system and he knows what he wants. So it's not a fluke that he's there. He's a very good player.
Very, very good player.
Yeah, indeed, that's what you have been hearing here, that this side is quite experienced and has a lot. But let's talk about maybe the side that has been struggling a little bit, because you're looking at Manika Diamonds. We are just going to talk about it from both sides. It hasn't been easy for them. 4 coaches already this season alone. And we're seeing Eben Marua stepping onto the seat.
You know, it's not something that is new to football. If results are not coming, the coaches, they move. But looking at Coach Eben Marua, you know, there's this fever which grasps players, like when the new coach comes, they want to prove something. So it means they are going to play with their hearts out. And I anticipate a very good game. They are going to give it their all. And playing Scotland is not easy. Look at the names that they have. But if you look at Manica Diamonds, if they can put in the work, they can match the talent.
Any comments on that?
Well, I
Bringing
think
on Herbert Marua.
I think Herbert is a very good coach. I mean, I've watched him grow into coaching during Pasua's days, and I think he's done a great job, and he deserves to be where he is. He's also one of the top coaches, and I think he will transform this Manika Diamonds into a good team. But I think he needs a bit of addition during the window season because their team doesn't have enough quality to really compete with Scotland. But like the legend Devoni is saying, whenever there's a new coach, there's that pressure on players to say, I want to also show the coach that I can play. Because the coach is also looking at the combination that he wants to use. This is his first game, and he has given these guys an opportunity to play for the team and also assess which players are good and which players are not. So there's a lot of pressure. We anticipate a very good game because of the new coach bouncing.
Yeah, indeed, it is quite exciting just to see what's happening, and that is Scotland, the Scotland bus arriving with the players. And you look at the likes of Kama Billiard, Knowledge Musona, Walter Musona, about 20 goals between these three players. You look at their ability to find the back of the net. Quite exceptional.
Age is just a number. It is. And Knowledge and Kama, they've proven that. Age is just a number. They are like, what can I say, like you call it in Zimbabwe, Wakomana Wakuru Chembere. But they are the ones who are topping the charts in terms of scoring. Yeah. So Manika Diamonds, they have to be at their best to stop them. Because there is a combination, the three of them, a very big combination.
And you know what they say, class is permanent. And these guys, Knowledge and Kama and Walter, Walter is just rubbing into the effects of his brother and Kama Bilak. These are exceptionally players, and I actually feel we need them in the national team. Yeah. I think the national team coach should actually give them a call-up. These are guys that can contribute us in going far. They've proven in the Casolaga Premiership. They just need to be managed, give them a good game time, manage them. Like what Norman is doing is just keeping them healthy, making sure that they continue performing. Yeah. And the league is so fortunate to have these guys. They've taken the league to another level. And most teams, when they come against Scotland, they also want to prove themselves that they can play better.
Yeah, but we also have to celebrate our own. Yeah. We have got people are celebrating Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at what they did when they called Neymar to the Brazilian national team. The whole nation, was waiting for that call up. Yeah. So we just have to celebrate them also.
Absolutely.
There is Kama Billiard, there is Knowledge. These are our talisman. For how long have they put their blood and sweat in everything that they've been doing? So we just have to honor them. We're just calling them up, even if it means they have to stand. They have to.
Yeah, they always bring that element of experience. And also, as we are seeing Manika Diamonds arriving as well, that is their bus. But you see that with some of the players that they have, when it comes to goal scoring, it hasn't been easy. Quite an evenly distributed playing field. Not many goals, but you have got the likes of Kaiki Msebera as well, finding the back of the net for the side. How do you think they're going to fare in today's game?
Don't rule out fortune beans. Never rule out fortune beans, especially when he's playing with these big guys. He wants to prove that he's also that big. So it means he's going to put everything into it. Don't rule him out.
I think he's got a knack of scoring goals against big teams, and like Devon is saying, he's one player who also wants to show that he's got what it takes to also score goals. Yes, the goals have not been coming, but they've got players like Chirwa, Banda, Manzunzu. I think these are also key players that can carry Manika Diamonds into this game. But
so why are you forgetting Teguru?
Of course, Teguru is a very good player. Absolutely, he's a very good player. He's one of the key players for Manika Diamonds.
But if you look at Manika Diamonds, they seem to mix youth and experience. They have experience in their captain Masbera, who has been the long-standing performer for some weeks now.
Yeah, you're giving him his flowers now.
Now I have to also, because he has been doing well.
Nah, true,
it's not easy. It's not easy
to be consistent.
2 seasons in the Premier League. Yeah. Ask whoever played in the Premier League. They'll tell you being consistent for 2 seasons, it's not a joke.
Yeah, we're getting it from you. So
from the horse's mouth.
It is definitely legit, and that's how you are getting. But they have a new coach in Herbert Marua. Not many days into the seat, and already he's facing a mountain as big as Scotland, who have been consistent for quite some time now. You're looking at a coach who's coming in a few days into the job, and is stepping on Rufaro Stadium, the home of Scotland. They've been dominating last season, this season as well. How do you think he's going to fare?
And I think he's a coach who's very confident. Norman Mapeza is also a very good coach, but I think at times he does also struggle against Herbert Marua. He's got a compact defense that he knows how to set up his defensive structure is very up there, and I think if he can get that against the firing up three, it will be something good. Yeah,
and we're seeing the warm-ups there, and we're about to, see some of those big names, the likes of Knowledge Musona. He's one of those players, bringing in that experience as well, and also the level of being consistent. But we also hear from the coach saying that he hasn't been changing the squad for quite some time now. I believe 6 games. They have been the same starting 11. And you've got the likes of Knowledge Msona. Do you think they can keep up with the pace? You've got Caps United struggling in the second half, maybe because of that fatigue. But do you think Caps United, Scotland and Knowledge Msona, some of these players can live up to par to that?
You talked about not changing the lineup. Why change the recipe when the food is delicious? You just have to eat.
Yeah.
So I believe in the system also. Coach Norman is one coach who believes in the system. If the system is working, he doesn't change. He doesn't change at all.
Okay, so there he is, that player there, Knowledge Msona. We all know him from various, elements.
Smiling,
where he
they
has
call
been.
him the smiling assassin.
Indeed, he is playing abroad, and now we're seeing Moses Shidolo. He's one player who's been able to step up to the occasion. You look at Abubakar Moffat. He was the player that was in the middle of the park, and then there was maybe the Mukuru Cup. He had to report for the national team, and then Moses Shidolo stepped up to the occasion. Has he been delivering as expected?
That shows you that Scotland has got a very strong squad. They have got a very good pool of players. Whoever goes out knows he's not coming back that easily. But you failed to mention one player who has been playing very well, Mtogozi Zimsebe.
Okay.
He's the one guy who makes the team play. He is one person who is doing everything. You see, the people are not talking about him that much, but those who watch and follow Scotland very often, they'll tell you that he's one consistent player who has been performing very well this season also.
Yeah, indeed.
For me, he's been a standout player for Scotland. He makes them tick. Or you see the Walton Sona, the Kamabilat enjoying what they do. Mseba have done all the dirty job. And I think, like Devon is saying, he's been outstanding for Scotland, and he's been an unsung hero. Of course, at the end of the day, we usually celebrate the guy who has scored or the guy who has given an assist. But we forget all the person that does the dirty work of regaining possession and giving it to those players that are able to do.
Life is never fair.
Exactly.
Life is never fair.
N'Golo Kante.
Today, Chama, you are stepping up for the players.
I was and I'll always be a player. If
Yes.
you're a football person, you'll always be a football person.
Yeah, we are giving them their flowers as we are seeing the warm-ups there. That is Scotland, the team that has been dominating effortlessly, 5 points ahead of second place, the Hard Rock. They have the opportunity to increase that lead today. Can they do it? Will it be easy?
Well, I think, first of all, they start off as favourites, and they think with the current form they are in, and you'll expect them to walk past Manika Diamonds. I mean, they've been scoring for fun. In the last 5 games, they've scored 11 goals. They've been winning 2-0, 2-0, 3-0, and 2-0. I mean, they've just been scoring for fun. They beat Caps United 2-0. They beat Hard Rock 2-3 in Rufaro. They went to Mondoro. They beat Ngezi 2-0. And they went to Chicken Inn in Bulawayo. They also won 2. This is a team that can find goals when they need to find them.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. And now it is Manika Diamonds who are grabbing the attention. They are a team that have only 2 wins, 7 draws in this season. It hasn't been easy, but coming in from the previous week, it was a 1-1 draw against FC Platinum. You could think that they are maybe regaining their form as we are seeing the scenes of Charles Teguru on the screen.
How can you say they've been regaining their form whereas they've been in the league for I don't know, for how many seasons now? It's just that, football, sometimes results don't come, but it doesn't mean they will not come. The most difficult thing is to be always consistent. That's the most difficult thing. Yeah. But if you look at Manica Diamonds, they don't have any pressure. People expect them to lose to Scotland. So it's going to be tricky, like I said before. They don't have pressure. Even if they lose today, they'll say, everyone will say, no, it's just Scotland. What do you expect from them?
But do you think that mentality is going to continue? Remember, they have a new coach who has something to prove.
That is something they can bank on. Why? You are playing without any pressure. I know I also have worked with Coach Ebert when he said he was at Dynamos before. He is someone who can make the players play for him. He knows how to talk to the players.
So like Devon is saying, psychologically, I think it also, the fact that they don't have pressure, Manica Diamonds, everyone is expecting them to lose. That alone is a motivation for them to do well.
don't forget that Coach Ebed is a psychological master.
Okay, there is some smiles over here, believing it may be in the prowess coming in from Heben Marua, the new coach who's stepping onto the fold. 3 coaches prior to him have left, but it hasn't been that easy. You talk about gaining only 13 points this season, and we're only in the second half of the season. Survival.
I think, yes, they're now fighting for survival. I think they didn't do the business well at the start of the season. I mean, you cannot have 3 coaches already at the halfway break. That means the management didn't do a proper job in terms of scouting, in terms of getting the right coach to coach the team. And I think it's an area they really need to work on. Now they've got a good coach, Shebi Maro. Hopefully they will keep him, and hopefully he'll be there for long.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at and hear what the coaches have to say ahead of this encounter. We'll start off with the Scotland coach, Nomen Mapeza.
Yeah, there is always pressure in football. If someone is going to tell you that there's no pressure, you belong to you. There is pressure. You need to do well. So there is pressure, but it's how you are going to handle the pressure. For us, at the moment, we are not playing any football under any pressure at all. It's a game of football. We trained well. We are ready for this game. We know we are facing a very good team. There's a new coach now. And definitely the guys are going to push because the window period is coming, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but we are ready for the game. The guys have been doing well, and I think they deserve to play. They deserve to play, not saying that those guys haven't been playing, they haven't been doing well. They've been doing well, of course, but look, why change these guys who have been doing well? They've been doing well. If someone gets injured, maybe might do some changes, but for now, I just pray they remain the way things remain the way it is. They remain healthy, so that we keep pushing.
It's going to be a difficult game. They are doing well. Scotland are doing well. They are playing well. They are top of the log, and Manica is down there. But we are going to make sure we get something out of the game. We need to make sure we restrict them to play their normal game, and make sure they don't score us first, and make sure we get an early goal. Winning or losing, it's a game of pressure. We just need to make sure we work extra hard and save the team from relegation.
And those were the words coming in from the coaches. Coach Nomen Mapeza highlighting that if the system is working, why change it? He believes in the players and what they've been able to do. But also what I've highly picked on is Coach Ebed Marua saying that surviving is the prior and top commitment that they have at this moment. How do you think they're going to be able to do this?
I really liked the way he was. He was in a very buoyant mood. You could see and you could tell that is someone who wants to win. Coach Ebed is someone who wants to win. And today is not going to be easy, but I know maybe, like we have been before we came live, we're talking about if it comes to the West, they'll pull out a draw.
Okay. I mean, the Coach Ebed was actually saying he acknowledged that it's a tough game and so it's going to be easy. They're playing against number 1, a team that has been scoring for fun. But what he's just said at the end of his report, of his pre-match interview, he says they'll work away with something, and meaning you want a point or you want 3 points. I mean, he emphasized that they'll work away with something.
Even a loss is something.
Well, I think you want a draw or a win.
Yeah.
Maybe
a positive result.
Yeah, because if they draw today, it means it gives them confidence going to the next match.
It does. I mean,
because confidence is something that Manika Diamonds need now. They need the confidence now. Why? Because the season is about to end. We are left with few games than we have played.
Yes.
So it means the points you lose are going to be counted again, the losses. So they have to win. They have to win today.
And then Coach Nomen Mapeza believing in the structure that has been able to bring on board. Quite exciting to see how they're going to fare against a team like Manika Diamonds. They are the favorites, like you said, getting into this encounter. But how much of a hunger are they going to show today?
Well, the beauty of Scotland, I think Nomen Mapeza has left the same team for the last 6 games. Like Devon was saying, as a player, you don't want to be losing your position and another player comes in and he takes the position and that's it. Look what happened to Moffat Abubakar. He used to start and Moshe Dolo got his opportunity and he kept on holding it and he's been playing some fantastic football. So if something is not broken, why should we fix it? He's been having the same team for the last 6 games and the team is playing well.
Now predictions, the numbers game. This is my favorite. I'll start with you, Devon.
For the past days, my predictions have been going the other way. So I'm rooting for a draw.
Okay, a draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Spencer?
I think Scotland will win. I think could be 2-1 or 2-0, one of the two.
Okay, there you have it. One favoring a draw and the other one saying Scotland might be getting the entire 3 points, increasing that gap in terms of points at the top of the table. They are sitting on 40 points at this very moment. If they manage to win today, it would be 43 and 8 points ahead of second place, the Hard Rock. So that is the story that is going on. So quite exciting to be seeing how this one is going to pan out, because it's now a matter of every game is of uttermost importance, a must win. It doesn't matter which team you're going to be playing, because there have been some people that have been making sure they spoil the party, even for the big sides. You get an example for Hirentals. They have been doing it this season. Maybe Manika Diamonds might spoil the party, but for Scotland, it is a must win always from this game onwards.
Well, with the points, it's like water this second half. Every drop counts. So if you lose points today, you know you'll be with your calculators at the end of the season. You know we should have done this, we should have done. But I believe, like he has been saying, he is rooting for Scotland. I'm rooting for a draw. Why? Because Manica Diamonds are playing without pressure. They know if they lose, it was going to happen like that. But you know, with the game of football, like Charles Mabiga always say, the veteran always say, it's a very beautiful game.
Yeah, indeed. It is a very beautiful game indeed. Maybe playing for a draw, but that will spoil the party on the other end. But just the knowledge, they don't have enough pressure behind them, playing for fun. They always say in academies, just enjoy the game.
They always say that, but I think the only unfortunate thing against Manika Diamonds, they're facing a red-hot Scotland and an experienced coach who's been there before, and he knows what to do, especially at this stage of the season. He knows what to do. He knows how to grind the results. He knows how to pick up the points. He knows how to win. He knows how to manage games, and he really gets involved, especially when he's coaching. He really wants players to play the way he wants, and that's the only unfortunate thing for Manika Diamonds. And I think they've come up against an experienced coach who's a serial winner, and he wants to win this championship with Scotland. Right now, they've got an advantage.
Now there's a lot to talk about always, but we're going to cross over to the commentary where they're going to be giving you the first 45 minutes of this encounter. Hopefully you predicted right, so we cross over to the commentary booth.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for this live broadcast of the Kasolaga Premier League Match Day 20. We are here at Rufaro Stadium, where we are going to be witnessing two teams that are separated by so much, yet they are fighting for the same thing. One, for returning the title they won in 2025, and for Manika Diamonds to survive. Hence, they bought the services of Ebert Marua. This is Scotland, the team at home, taking on Manika Diamonds as a fixture that will mark the beginning of match day number 20. So much to fight for, with Scotland on top of the table comfortably with 5 points. And for Manika Diamonds, who are currently on a position number 17, one off from the draw of points. They are still fighting for survival. They are in that dreaded chop, and it's going to be one game for them that they would want to prove everything that they have to offer. We are going to be looking at the players coming out from the dugout, and it's going to signify exactly what we are going to be witnessing in the next months or so. Scotland have gone on an unbeaten run, 6 in total, and haven't conceded a goal in those 6 games. And they have a fantastic trio of Walter Msona, Kama Billiard, and Knowledge Msona, scoring 20 goals from these 3 fantastic players. The same can be said for Manika Diamonds, who are struggling, having only scored 11 goals in the 19 matches that they've played, 10 from their own players, and 1 which was in an own goal. The last time they got a win, it was in the month of May. And the only wins they have so far have only come in the month of May. So much to play for Manika Diamonds. And they are the players, Scotland in their traditional blue, the team being led by their captain, hailing from the streets of Norton, Walter Musona. And that's Peter Mudua as well. Unchanged for the 7th time in a row. It's something that Norman Mapesa does whenever he's found a winning formula. Why change when it's not broken? But for Herbert Maroa, his first time on the dugout for Manica Diamonds after a move felt for him to join Triangle, he's going to be there, and he said there's a lot to fight for. So for now, we are going to go on the national anthem, and we come back and talk about the national teams. That was the national anthem of Zimbabwe that usually is played to signify that the games are going to be played. As something that was proposed by the football governing board in Zimbabwe, ZIFA. And with that, the players are going through their greetings and they are formalities, and from there we are going to be talking about who has been trusted by either managers to start. And once again, welcome fans of football across the world, fans of football in Zimbabwe and fans of the Kasolaga Premier League. This is Matchday 20. The top team on the top of the table, Scotland, are leading by 5 points, and they're playing against a team that is on the second from last on the Kasolaga Premier League, and there's a 27-point difference since its first versus number 17. Manika Diamonds have only managed to accumulate 13 points in the 19 games they've played so far. And they've changed a total of 3 managers, with Herbert Maroa coming for his first game, with this one being his first stint and becoming Manika Diamonds' 4th manager. So now for the match officials, Tabani, Rosario, Polite, Dube are the center and the first assistant match officials. They're responsible for making sure that the game goes as planned in terms of administering the laws of the game and make sure that nothing goes untalked about. And then we are talking about a Norman Mapesa who's full of confidence, saying he hasn't changed much in terms of how he's approaching this game. He said he believes in the players and not much is going to be changing, and doesn't really rate the new manager Browns coming in from Manika Diamonds, and it's something that you would think he would relish so much. But for Herbert Maroa, says this is my first time on the dugout and I've been trusted to save this team from relegation. I've done it before and this time we'll do it again. Now the trusted 11 from Norman Mapesa, he hasn't changed in the last 6 games, making it the 7th consecutive time this team has played. Nelson Chajiga between the sticks and Modua and Moyo, the trusted centre-back pairing. Moses Chidolo retains the spot in the middle of the park in place of Abubakar Moffat. Walter Msona, Knowledge Msona and Kama Billiard will start up front. And then for Herbert Maroa, Godfrey Chitsumba in goal, Shumbayimwe Rupande as the centre-back pairing. Takunda, Banda and Kahiki as the three midfielders. Fortune Binzi, Charles Guru and Manzunzu will be playing as the trusted front three. A lot of goals are expected to be raining in this particular encounter, and such is going to be expected from those that have attended this game as well. Maxwell is going to be besides me as the expert analyst and your football enthusiast. Maxwell, what a game we do have on our hands.
Yeah, pleasant afternoon to you today as well. Really setting up to be a very good game. And Scotland leading on top of the log table. They couldn't have had a better match with a team that is struggling at the bottom in Manika Diamonds. 9 games unbeaten, Scotland they have gone. And I think it's just the spark that they've been able to find in the front with Knowledge Msona, Autumn Msona, as well as Kama Billet and Knowledge Msona, looking like they're definitely rewinding to their earlier days in football, playing like the new boys in town, and they'll be confident trying to defend their championship, getting on top just at the right time. Scotland, and for Manika Diamonds, they really have to fight for their lives. Not so much games remaining, and it's that time that you want to pick yourself from the bottom as well. They've had some run of draws in the past, and they would want to build from that and try at least to get something from this difficult game at Faro Stadium.
Wow, so the team at top of the table that's currently on the summit will be hoping to extend this lead to 8 points. Now attacking the final third, Knowledge Msona, and it's just been dropped, but Rosario says there's no foul there. You wouldn't want to give Knowledge Msona such space in the opening 2 minutes of the game. He can cause a lot of upsets, of course, for the opposition and not for the team that is playing for. We have seen them do that these days. They really want to get an early goal. We saw them do that against Caps United, where Knowledge Msona was almost on a double in the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it has just been the right spark and the most dangerous player up front for Scotland. Technically gifted Knowledge Msona. We all know what he can do with the dead ball, as well as when he gets a chance in front. I think that has been one of the key reasons why Scotland has been brilliant in the past games.
Now charging forward is Scotland. Knowledge Msona trying to recollect. Walter Msona playing it to the Eswatini man. Kwakatwala. Good pairing of the ball from Geoffrey Tsumba. Already setting their intent clear in the opening 2 minutes, Scotland. And it was Kwaketwala from the left side being played through by Walter Msona. And this is exactly the danger they do pose if you give them so much space and so much ground to cover.
Yeah, first chance of the day, and it's a shot on target for Scotland. Exactly what they would have wanted to start like. I mean, Mapeza would be quite glad with that start. That's the danger that Manika Diamonds are in. And they have to be alert for the 90 minutes if they are to get anything from this game. And it's not going to be easy for them.
So Walter Msona playing through Kama Billiat. Was still showing signs of excitement every time he holds the ball. Now Kwaketwala can cross one in. Not the perfect connection. And Rosario almost thought there was a hand in there, but played advantage, I believe. And Peter Mudua plays it back to Nelson Chaljiga, who has been the trusted goalkeeper for Scotland since the beginning of the season. Probably one of the best keepers so far, and that coupled with the defense that he has, no wonder they have the most clean sheets in this current season.
Yeah, that's going to be the order of the day. I think Manika Diamonds know very well that they are not going to have the ball. They definitely have to sit back and try to defend the spaces as well. But in those few occasions, I think Kwaketwala has been able to get those spaces into the box. That will be a worrying sign for Manika Diamonds early in the game.
So now Kwaketwala finds Knowledge Msona, who takes the shot first time. Whisker away from the frame. Could have been one up for the smiling assassin and for Scotland. Unfortunately.
So close from Sona. That's the danger that he possesses, Knowledge Msona. Outside of the box, just sweeping it and just missing by a whisker there. And that could be the first goal for Scotland. Manika Diamonds really have to be aware of those danger players. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day for them.
Manika Diamonds just giving Kwaketwala so much space to operate in. And you know he has a mean left foot, and as seen in the last play, finding Knowledge Msona, who always has one mind to attack the goal. There's something that they have to be wary of. Now Knowledge Msona, the crossfield pass, finding Mahomet Isaka to Moses Shidolo. Kamap Elliott going down, holding his shin. And in a very dangerous area. Scotland do have the heavy hitters, especially when the ball is in that situation. And you'd fancy the two Msona brothers whenever the ball is in that situation.
Yeah, what a sum for Manika Diamonds. I think the referee was quick to blow his whistle. Quite sure of the contact on Kamap Elliott. And they are never short of free kick takers, are they, Scotland? You have Knowledge Msona definitely lining up for it. Kwala as well. And very good range, especially from Msona. We have seen him time and time again just being able to kill one into the top right or left corners. And I think he will be definitely eager to take this one.
So Knowledge Msona and Kwaketwala, the two players for Scotland, who are just standing behind the ball. Everyone does understand the quality that Knowledge Msona has, especially with the dead ball. And it might be the difference between steam now. Knowledge Msona over the wall, but not too much to cause any problems. Team effort from the smiling assassin. Now they recycle play through Peter Mudua. Mahomet Isaka charging forward now. Panashim Timbanyoka. Chimbanyoka finding it difficult to maneuver through the right space. You just have to admire the way Kwaketwala is playing almost as an inverted winger. Operating a fantastic pass. The idea was good, but the execution on the other hand really let him down. Just look at the way he's operating in that midfield of the park.
Yeah, classic, isn't it? And Manika Diamonds know very well that they cannot afford to sit too deep. And they also don't want to be too much higher the pitch as well. Because we just saw in that instance that pass that almost got to Knowledge Msona, and that could be their defense splitting pass. And it's a very difficult thing to do for Manika Diamonds in terms of adjusting to the pressure and just being able to keep the right lines at the right time.
So this is the return fixture. At the opening of the season, Scotland had played 2 games without finding a win. And when they did play against Manika Diamonds, this is the first game they managed to score 3 goals. And it was their first win of the season in match day number 3. And it was Kamap Elliott on the day that found a brace. Now Knowledge Msona, and the ball has been buried out of play. 3 times these teams have met so far, coming from the 2025 season. Only 1 draw, and Scotland have come up superior of the 2 teams. 6 points from a possible 9.
Yeah, just think that free kick again probably didn't get the height that you wanted Knowledge Msona that time around, and the deflection that probably made it elude.
So Koraki comes in, good defending. Well, Manika Diamonds has managed to keep a couple of draws, and one of their most recent impressive results was that 1-0 draw last weekend against FC Platinum, where they scored first Unfortunate for them, Manica for FC Platinum managed to equalize. But you look at how good a side they are. But I think the changing of the managers form in just under 20 games is a lot for any team, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. But that will definitely give them some confidence.
Now come Billiards. Will draw it in, but good defending altogether. Played back to the skipper. Walter Msona trying to look for Knowledge Msona, but cleared away. Now Binzi to go forward for Manika Diamonds. Going through a lot of traffic. And he comes out victorious. Manika Diamonds on the counter charge now, looking for options. Good play altogether from Fortune Bins. Now Billiards being marked from behind. Knowledge Msona has Walter Msona open on the left side. Now he can cut in. Walter Msona, but defended quite well. Good defensive block to keep the scoreline as ease.
Yeah, good defensive block that time around. Knowledge Msona finding his younger brother in space. Just cutting inside. And I think the defender doing so well to keep tabs on him. Almost 2 defenders on that. I think Manika Diamonds will know exactly the kind of game that they went into. And that they will be glad to see Scotland with most of the position as long as they can keep their spaces tightly marked as well. So far, it really doesn't look like they've been able to do that. Still 0-0. And they've also been able to get some draws, as you were saying tonight.
Now Kamapeliat stealing the ball. The final third, playing it through, but too much for Panasham Timbanyoka. Nervy moments there for the Manika Diamonds defense. Now Knowledge Msona whooping one in, looking for Billiards. The defense has been quite strong, immaculate there with the last ditch defending. Now Msona again, playing through Timbanyoka. Now they can go for the first one, the opener. And the log leaders are up high and flying. Mtokosi Simsebe, bottom left corner, and Scotland are one up.
Yeah, and it was just a matter of time to die, wasn't it? After that mess from the pass from Kamabilet, which was probably a little bit too much. Manika Diamonds in 6s and 7s in the defense there. And a good play from Scotland, he's circling it. Good cut back into the penalty area there. And he had all the time and all the space to take a shot. Took a touch or two. And straight to the goalkeeper, who definitely should have done better. I think the goalkeeper was quite disappointed with that, because it came straight to him. And Mtokosi Museve getting that opener for Scotland, but difficult for Manika Diamonds now, going 1-0 down in a game that they were probably only fighting for a draw.
What an opener. And it's not every time you see Mtokosi Museve darting forward. They've allowed him to get so much space, Manika Diamonds, and has found the opener. Now Scotland are one up. And before the game, Norman Mapesa was talking about how he's crediting all the players for a fantastic display in the last 6 games. And he's saying it's not only about Walter Msona and Knowledge Msona and Kama Billiards, but also everyone who has been instrumental in making sure that they do score.
Yeah, definitely a team effort. If you can take a look at that goal as well. But Geoffrey Chitumba rather will be disappointed with that.
Now Kwaketwala hits the frame and have gone for 2. The man from Eswatini with a dance and a celebration that matches the goal. 2 for Scotland. Manika Diamonds got in 6s and 7s early on in the 13th minute.
Oh, what a finish from Paketwala. We're talking about how he was getting into so much space. And a good pass from Knowledge Msona. First touch, second touch. And a cracker hitting the top bar as well before it went into the back of the net. The goalkeeper could only watch as it sailed over him. Powerful shot. And it was into the back of the net before Manika Diamonds could realize what was happening. And what a cracker of a goal. And Twala is on the score sheet. I think every Scotland player will be thinking of themselves on that score sheet today. Manika Diamonds have to really get hold of this situation before it gets too late and too embarrassing for them.
Definitely not the opening Herbert Maroa, the former Taiwan and Dynamo's man was looking for. Left the Wi-Fi boys about a month ago and was hoping to redeem himself and redeem this team, Manika Diamonds, who are closer to relegation than they are to safety. It hasn't been an easy start for them, and a lot has to change. Just under a quarter of an hour, Scotland have managed to put through. And Geoffrey Chitsumba has been just left dumbfounded with the way Scotland have been attacking so far.
Yeah, just 50 minutes into the game and you're already 2 goals down. The first one from Seve and Paketwala with that wonderful finish. I think it's just been the positioning as well for Manika Diamonds, allowing the likes of Wotamsona to almost be free rolling, and Paketwala allowing too much space, and that time around he made them pay and punish them quite brilliantly as well.
So the question is, how will this Manika Diamond side respond? Before the game started, they had only conceded 27 goals, the same number of goals that Scotland had scored. And now Scotland has scored 29, which in turn means Manika Diamonds have also conceded 29. Very defensively porous, this Manika-based side.
Yeah, that's just been the problem, isn't it? And you have never put it in better contrast than I. Considering the number of goals Scotland has been able to score, tells you a story of how Manika Diamonds' season is unfolded. I think they would have thought that they could keep this game as tight as they were able to do against Ngezi Panam Stars. Remember, Scotland were also able to have a beautiful win against Ngezi, 2-0. Defending champions really on a high. Manika Diamonds probably unlucky to be facing them when they have actually been able to pick up their form like this.
Fitzgerald Banda, one of the players in deploying the high press for Manika Diamonds together with Libert Manzunzu.
Yeah, I think they're now just trying to main mark each player. You can see that Chidolo in the midfield as well. Probably has a player on him, but Musona is getting much of the space. That will be knowledge. And he's the playmaker, and he's probably the one you always want to have a player on. Now Twala also getting a man on him.
And Scotland just enjoying knocking the ball, trying to get into the momentum and tire their opponent. And all Manika Diamonds can do at this point in time, under 17 minutes, is to make sure that this team that's on the summit of the table do not cause any more problems. Billiard to Mohamed Isaka. Manzunzu applying the pressure, but cannot do so much with a one-man press. Mtokwese Simsebe. Billiard with a shimmy on the right side. Closer to the Vietnam. The Vietnam is well accustomed to fans in blue, but this afternoon it's a different kind of blue. Now Billiard finding Mohamed Isaka. The man who was once with Dynamos at some point.
Yeah, trying to keep on the press now, Manika Diamonds today. But how long can you keep that press on? Remember, the game is 90 minutes. And the more they try to do that, the more they actually release some space for some of the players. They're failing to keep tabs on all of them because of how very flexible Scotland have been. At one point, you see Nola Jimsona coming to collect the ball. The other time, it will be Walter. Paketwala also keeping an eye on him on this left wing. It's a difficult game that they have to play.
Walter Msona with a very dangerous pass, but Nelson Chachga quick on his feet. And you can see the high press that Charles Teguri has been trying to apply. He has been one of the longest serving members for Manika Diamonds. Oh, Kwaketwala again! But good hands from Geoffrey Chitsumba. Was trying to go for his second, the left back. With the way he's darting forward, you'll be confused that he is a wing back. And before the moment, we're talking about Charles Teguru for Manika Diamonds. Long-serving member, and remember, we are moments away. And it's no offside. Mtimbanyoka, who tried to go for 3. I almost thought that the flag was going to be up. Oh, Tamsona. Last-ditch defending on the line. Denied. And the last second marks. Cracker off a shot by the skipper.
Oh, some drama there tonight. Venomous shot from Musona, the goalkeeper. I think it went to his right hand before it deflected to his face. And that's why he went down just after being able to clear that one. And the defender doing the last just defending on the line. And Manika Diamonds players were almost standing. And they would have thought that was an offside, but the flag was not up. And play continued. Very heroic from the goalkeeper, Geoffrey Chitsumba. Manika Diamonds really under the pump here, and Ebed Maroa calling them to the line to try and at least give them a little bit of more tips on how to at least keep Scotland out until the end of the half.
Welcome Mabeli in the last incident almost thought he was offside and left the play for Panasham Timbanyoka. The defenders, Lawrence Masivera.
Yeah, good from the goalkeeper that time around. Almost straight to him, but good strong hand. And with the deflection, it went straight to his face. And there would have been some concern in terms of concussion, but it looks like you will be okay to continue. The goalkeeper, Geoffrey Chitsumba, knows exactly what he's in for with the way Scotland have been attacking so far. But the Manika Diamond support have not stopped singing. I think they still believe that their team can at least get something from the game.
Now Knowledge Msona from the right side, trying to play it first time, but good defending from Manika Diamonds. A contest of upper body strength from Fitzgerald Banda. Now another cross into the box. Good anticipation in the. And that's the way you mark your territory, that defensive box, making sure that the ball doesn't surpass you. So 23 minutes have been played and Scotland are leading by 2-0. And they are asking the necessary questions. It has been one-sided, the traffic only going one way. Still hasn't seen the likes of Askerus Urpandi for Manika Diamonds, one of their versatile midfielders who played 34 games last season, barely missing a beat and barely missing a step. But this one, so far under 23 minutes, still under the shadow of probably Moses Chidolo. Peter Madua.
Yeah, the possession stats are going to be interesting tonight. Really haven't seen anything from Manika Diamond so far going forward as well.
Well, Kevin Moyo posting it forward, was looking for those early runs from Kamabiliat. Taking his time, got free Chitsumba. Lawrence Masibera got lost attack. Now it's a 2v3. Kamabiliat who played Knowledge Msona, who dummies it for Moses Chidolo. Oh, too much. Tried to play it fancy and expensive. Kaiki.
Yeah, that chance almost coming from a mistake as well. Manika Diamonds definitely don't want to be making any mistakes, especially in a game like this. And it almost looked like Knowledge Msona thought that he was not being able to take a shot at that. He could have tried, leaving it for Chidolo.
No, Masibera making a mistake. Knowledge Msona. Good hands from Geoffrey Chitsumba. The smiling assassin just nicking the ball away from Lawrence Masibera. And trying to dink it over the goalkeeper. But good awareness from Geoffrey Chitsumba.
Yeah, just another mistake. Just as we were trying to talk about their previous mistake. Trying to get control of the ball, and Msona was on him. Not a clever dink over the goalkeeper, who was quite away to put a hand on it, tracking back the goalkeeper. Good goalkeeping, wonderful goalkeeping, to say the least, from Chitsumba. Oh, looks like he's gone down injured again, probably landing on his left shoulder. And that will take some time before the corner kick can be taken. But those mistakes from Manika Diamonds, they cannot afford to continue making those kind of mistakes at the back, because at some point definitely Scotland will punish them.
And that is Knowledge Msona just going to check on Geoffrey Chitsumba after he attempted to dink it over him, but a good right hand to tip it over the frame of the goal. It has been the summary of their whole season as just under 20 games, Manika Diamonds. It hasn't been easy, only picking 2 wins, and all those wins came in the month of May, separated only by 1 draw.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be making such kind of mistakes at the back, you're probably going to be conceding more. And the goalkeeper won't be happy about his back 4. It's not the first time that they've made such a mistake. They definitely have to keep their eyes open.
So a corner kick for Scotland. Floats one in. And hitting the side netting. Kevin Moyo almost thought they was going to give his team the 3rd one. In under 27 minutes, was alone unmarked.
Yeah, we're talking about how every player from Scotland would think that they have a chance of getting a goal here. Just unmarked, almost a free header at the back post there. That will be quite concerning for Herbert Maroa. With only 27 minutes played so far, you still have a lot of time to come. And you really don't want to be seeing your players playing like that early into the first half.
Jogosis Msebe playing it through for Kamabiliat, who's through on goal. Kamabiliat, and he fluffs his chance. It was almost easy for him to score. He is the leading goal scorer for Scotland, and under circumstances such as these, you would have thought that he was going to put his team through with a 3-goal advantage.
Yeah, what a pass from the midfield from Msebe. And Kamabiliat put in through. Good first touch. And just when he wanted to slot it into the back of the net, dragging it away from goal. A poor miss from Billiard that time around. Definitely should have made Manika Diamonds pay. And that's probably what happens in a game of many chances tonight.
One thing for sure is that this trio of Walter Msona, Knowledge Msona and Kamabiliat are making it difficult for the substitutes as well. How do you demand for a start when those that are starting are high-flying in such a manner? Chidolo. Manzunzu for the press for Manika Diamonds. He has been doing that since the beginning of the game.
Yeah, thanks to Dolo and Msewe have been very impressive in the midfield, probably making everything happen for Scotland. As well as Knowledge Msona, always killer instincts always makes him a very impactful player. Really no match for Manika Diamonds, who are struggling to get a foot on the ball and to make anything happen for themselves. Now trying to push a little bit higher.
Chimanyoka finding Isaka Mahomet. In the reverse fixture, the two teams met each other when a lot of questions were being asked. Confirmation of the score. Msebe, the 12th minute, and Twala, the 14th. 2 minutes separating these two goals. Now Panashim Timbanyoka on the right side, trying to play through to Kamabiliat, who was smiling on the face of goal. And the question is, for how long are they going to be finding it easy to just get into the final third?
Yeah, I think as long as they can, Manika Diamond trying to push up higher the field, but in terms of tracking back, they've just found themselves wanting, especially with those good clear passes through the middle of the park, as well as on the flanks. That has been a threat for Manika Diamonds, who've also tried to man mark the Scotland players. You're probably just trying anything if you're Manika Diamonds at this point.
Now Fortune Binzi finds Kaiki. Now they've had a chance to go through. Tekuru on the left side, looking for options. Stewarding onto the ball. Thinks he can beat two, but he's fortunate. Now a cross from deep, and it goes out of play. The first time that they really found themselves attacking Scotland, and it's a chance that they've really wasted. And the first substitution of the game in the opening 31st minute, or 31 minutes, for Manika Diamonds. Jeffrey Takunda coming off, and Leon Chibi replacing him in defense, in the midfield rather. And like we say, it's a summary of how difficult it has been for Manika Diamonds.
Yeah, making early changes, Maroa, trying to fix those gaps. But that time around, a little bit positive from Manika Diamonds going up front, but no support really from the other players as they've been sitting deep. And going forward, I think they have to take their chances. They're probably not going to get as many as they would want. But when you do get that chance at a break, you definitely have to make it count if you're Manika Diamonds.
Kevin Moyer. Oh, they've been trying to take it over so many times. Over the defenders. And they do have the runners. Manika Diamonds played the opening 4 fixtures of the season without finding a win. They conceded 8 goals in the opening 4 games of the season. 1-0 to Simbabura, 2 to FC Platinum, 3 to Scotland, and 2 to ZBC Kariba. For a team that at some point was almost in the top 4 by this time, only a few points below Moors, who are currently leading. Now playing it through. They have a chance to cause problems in the final third. Binzi. Now Tekuru, taking so much time with the ball, decides to play it back to Chirwa. Now Tekuru, who has changed, besides that he's playing it. Shidolo coming in strong.
Yeah, a bit positive now from Manika Diamonds. I think that's the way they have to play. Because if you allow Scotland all of the ball, they're probably going to do whatever they want with it. You have to try and get your players in possession and try to at least hit Scotland as well. I think that's a better way to play this than to try and sit back and defend all the time.
And it's quite surprising that their leading goal scorer, there's also a defender, Lawrence Masibela, with two goals, followed by the midfielder Kayiki with 2 as well. Even the fantastic Taguri has 1 goal to his name this season.
Yeah, good possession now from Manika Diamonds. They've just been able to take better care of the ball, trying to frustrate Scotland a little bit. Quite positive. Now you have to take it into transition. Possession only counts for such until you make it count as well. A little bit more penetrative going forward. I think that's what they have to try and do now.
Now Binzi. Support coming through now. Binzi can cross. Locking Kwake Twala. There seems to be an end to it, but then it has been played for corner kick. Their first one of the game coming in the 35th minute.
Yeah, Binzi calling for that handball, but I think his hand was in a natural position after going on for that sliding tackle. I think that could have been quite a tough one on him. But they do have a corner here. They relieve the face of the game for them. Very encouraging now from Manika Diamonds getting their first corner kick.
So Pascal Shumbaimwe with the corner kick, and just grazes the crossbar that has gone out of play.
Yeah, good corner. Almost getting into the good target area that he was looking for. I think they have to maintain that stance. Manika Diamonds now marking higher up the field, not allowing Scotland to get those spaces that they were getting. And I think that would be quite encouraging for Herbert Maroa as well as the Manika Diamond fans.
So Pascal Shumbaimwe asking for the ball. It does get to him. Manzunzu as Peter Mudua marking him closely and tightly. And there is Moses Shidolo. There has been a fantastic turn of events for Moses Shidolo, who was starting either on as a right back, and the area he was playing in being occupied by Abu Bakr Moffat. And when Abu Bakr Moffat went for the Unity Cup, Shidolo was put in his trusted place, is the place that is more familiar with him. For me, Scotland haven't conceded and they've gone on to win 6, and if they do win this one, it'll be the 7th. How do you take a man like that and change the winning formula?
Yeah, I think that's what Mapeza was alluding to, keeping it as it is, because it has been working for them. Abu Bakr Moffat, also a very gifted player, waiting to get that position as well. Remember, he started the season being the starter, Moffat.
Wow, good defending from Masibela. The man with 2 goals for Manika Diamonds so far this season. The centre back. Now Manzunzu can go through. Taguru will hear it from distance. And it ends out just being an effort, speculative maybe. But for a team that hasn't been getting it easy to the final third, you'd expect such a shot from such a distance.
Yeah, encouraging from Taguru the time around. Probably not exactly what he wanted, but I think they won't be bothered about that base, Manika Diamonds, but quite glad that they have been created something in the last 5 minutes as well. Now 2 attempts at goal compared to the 9 of Scotland, but very positive for Manika Diamonds now.
Well, it's now evenly contested, maybe up until the turn of the 30th minute to the 38th. Manika Diamonds are starting to show signs of life and being a team. Now Fitzgerald Banda finding Binzi on the flanks. Ask Rupande. Rupande encouraging the players to go forward. And a loose pass from Fitzgerald Banda.
Yeah, that's the most important part of the play there, where you probably have to be as creative as you can.
Oh, mistake from Peter Mudua, was looking for Kelvin Moyo. They do get a little bit confident and relaxed, these two centre-backs. I don't think there's any other team in the Casalaga Premier League that plays this goes across the defensive line. Billiard. Now to Moses Shidolo, who was looking for Knowledge Msona, and there was so much time for him to go alone. Moses Shidolo. Now Shidolo crossing it to Knowledge Msona, flicking it to Panashim Timbanyoka. Walter Msona to Kama Billiard, and that's 3. Picture perfect football. No wonder they are leading in goals scored and on points on the board. Pristine from the trio. Scotland 3, Manika Diamonds 0.
Yeah, what a tip goal from Scotland. Just as we thought Manika Diamonds were getting back into the game. And that deceptive pass from Walter Kama Billiard immediately pointed to him, just giving him on a silver platter, and Kama Billiard obliges with a good finish. Just look at that. Kofi Chitsumba going the other way and then realizing that it was going to be Billiard who was going to take the strike, and by that time it was already too late. Just as we thought that Manika Diamonds probably had a way back into this game, Scotland just putting another goal on top of the 2. And now it looks like it's going to be a long, long way back for Manika Diamonds.
Smart and genius from Walter Msona. Unselfish too. Could have added to the 5 he already has for Scotland and made it 6. But decided to give it to the leading talisman, who has now scored 9 goals, Kama Billiard.
Yeah, you just have to admire the front row for Scotland as well. The goals can come from anyway, and at any time. You do have Walter Msona, who's a prolific finisher himself. Knowledge Msona, looking like he's younger to Walter Msona, and Kama Billiard as well. And then you have Paketwala, abundant stars, and the bench looks quite impressive. I think Norman Mapeza will be quite glad to have a problem of picking who starts and who doesn't.
It is going to be difficult for Norman Mapesa to change this winning 11. Maybe when they do start playing in the Champions League, we're going to be seeing changes from here and there. But like he always says, if the team is winning, I see no point in changing. Now Knowledge Msona with the first touch that really let him down. Now crossing it into the box. And good hands from Geoffrey Chitsumba. 43 minutes gone. Scotland leading by 3 goals to 0. And a very composed figure of Norman Mapesa. Manzunzu wins his team a foul. The tall and lanky striker, like Asamoah Gyan for Ghana. Who can forget Asamoah Gyan wearing the jersey number 3 as a striker?
Yeah, difficult for Manika Diamonds now. You never know what you want from a game when you're 3 goals down, when you probably thought a draw could have been better.
Now Isaka Mahumad with Moses Sidolo darting forward with a decoy run, but Manika Diamonds' defense is well up to the idea. Ask Rupande drawing in closely to stop any attack or any form of attack from Scotland. Now Walter Msona finds Kwaketwala, and he's taking his time. Now Walter Msona with a loose pass. And now good defending. They can start to reinvent themselves, Manika Diamonds. At the moment they won the ball, they lost it again.
Yeah, quite surprised with the space that Twala has been able to get again today. I think we talked so much about how he has just been left in acres of space on this left wing. Probably don't know what else to do, Manika Diamonds. It's only 44 minutes play. It's going to be a long one.
Deft touch from Knowledge Msona. Back heel flick. You almost thought they were instigating another attack. Well, with only 1 minute added by the fourth official, I wonder what time of a halftime talk it's going to be for Herbert Maroa and his new side, especially coming off from a 1-0 draw against FC Platinum.
Yeah, so it's going to be difficult. I think they'll be glad to go into the break, Manika Diamonds, and at least get some breather. 15 minutes to rest and try to come back into the second half with the new ideas on how to at least probably stop the goals from coming through, and also going forward how they can get back in the game and try to hit Scotland as well. It's never going to be a good idea to try and defend for the rest of the next 45 minutes for them, because with the first half, what it has shown us is that that is not working.
And that signals the end of the first 45 minutes, with Scotland, the home team, leading by 3-0. Could have been more, could have been 4. But good defending and good goalkeeping as well has restricted this margin from being bigger than it already is. So much work for Herbert Maroa and Manika Diamonds as they are playing a team that has built so much chemistry. It's going to be difficult, but sentiments going into the halftime break. Does Norman Mapeza need to change anything? What does Herbert Maroa need to do to probably go in and salvage a point or put some 2 goals into the back of the net?
Yeah, and impressed manager Norman Mapeza, he will be. It's a very impressive first half from Scotland as well. I think probably more of the same, and probably give the other players a chance in the second half. Manika Diamonds will have to try and make sure that they can at least stop the goals from coming through, and probably go forward as well and try to get a goal or 2 for themselves. But it's always going to be difficult in the next 45.
So we are going to be going to the halftime break, and we'll switch over for pitch side where there's Sandra, Spencer Nyamadzao and Devon Chaffa.
First half, absolutely worthy of a big celebration. You could see the team at the top of the table giving us reasons why they're at the top of the table. It was Msebe who opened the scoring, then Twala, then Kama Billiard. 3 goals in the first half in favor of Scotland, and Manika Diamonds still yet to reply. It is half-time, the first 45 minutes gone, and we get an opportunity to digest the first half. The lineup, we have changed it. The one is now closer. I'm going to start with you. In your own words, the first 45 minutes of this encounter.
It has been all Scotland from the first whistle, because they wanted the early goal and they got it, and they got 2, and they started playing around with the ball. That's how big teams play. They're now reserving the energy for the next game. It's like they are at a training session.
Yeah, and Manika Diamonds, they are the team that Scotland is playing against, but have they been up to the point in terms of just competing and making sure their presence is felt in this encounter?
Unfortunately for Manika Diamonds, it's been a tall order. They came up against a red-hot Scotland team that's on fire. I mean, as we see the first goal that was scored there was the chance from Knowledge Msona just dragging his effort wide.
But if you can look at it, Scotland would have been 5 or 6. But
goals
it
in
has been the goalkeeper who has been saving. It's now Scotland against the goalkeeper.
I think Chitunga has done a great job.
Like what I told you before the match.
Yeah.
Inexperience is now showing at Manika Diamonds.
Yeah.
It's just inexperience. Not knowing what to do at certain stages. That's all.
Yeah, and the first half most certainly was coloured in blue, as we could see Scotland many chances from the free kick spot in play, and the movement was quite quick. I think it's that chemistry between the two the players on the field, just communicating well, making sure that Kama Billiard is involved, Twala as well, making those runs on the left side to make sure that he's able to feed into the box. What a first half.
What a first half, and I think I must commend Knowledge Msona. His cleverness, his intelligence of football is just above the weight.
Computer box.
I think it's a computer box. I mean, everything he does is just superb and magical. And I think he gets the team to tick. The way he passes, the way he runs off the ball, the way he commits defenders to play with him. I think he does a great job.
But if we also look at, I really like the third goal. You see that pass from Walt Thompson.
That was
Walt Thompson is someone people are not talking about, but he's very efficient.
very efficient.
Very efficient.
It looked like he was going to take a shot at goal, and he just
he just sold a dummy.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed, it has been an impressive first half, but as you can see some Manika Diamonds players getting a feel of the ball, and also
that was
sort
a
of
good save. I mean,
Yeah.
Knowledge Msona, their cleverness, just to lob the ball past the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper Chitunga doing a great job.
Yeah,
The goalkeeper is doing well. I remember when Tapoga Pin was voted man of the match after the Highlanders lost 6-1. That is what is supposed to happen today.
No,
He's having a good game,
He's
but I
having
think he's injured.
I think if the shot from Walt Thompson could have pulled the muscle, I think that affected the
Because
goalkeeper.
he made
Yeah.
2 double saves, and
Two
I think it's
impressive
the same.
saves.
Yeah, so it's the same injury, I think.
Yeah, indeed. You could see there Knowledge in Sona. He went and checked on the goalkeeper to see if it was okay, because he took to flight to sort of just parry the ball above the crossbar, and that was just enough to make sure that he didn't end up being 4 in the first half. But as we are seeing some of these views and such, you look at the ability of Scotland to pass the ball. I was sitting close to certain people that way, counting the number of passes before Manika Diamonds were able to press them down, getting close to about 60 passes.
We even talked about it because they took the ball from here and then they restarted the attack again. I think that was the save by the goalkeeper.
Yes.
But you can say now how patient they are. Very patient. That's a sign of a very good team.
Yeah, sign of a very good team indeed. And I was going to be seeing some of the numbers in terms of how the game has been progressing in the first half. And that is a brilliant shot to find its way into the back of the net, squared in. And then at that final touch to find the back of the net, absolutely impressive.
Do not look for me when Sebe called, because I'm one person who talked
Yeah,
about him before.
you really hammered the fact that he's going to step up to the occasion, and I believe also the coach in the pre-game interview, he alluded that he's one of those players that feeds Knowledge in Sona, that feeds Kama Billiard, but he's also a player who doesn't just assist, but he also finds the back of the net.
I'm happy that he's also gotten a goal in this game, because after time he's always creating chances for others, and I'm happy he's also managed to hit the back of the net, and he's been putting a great effort and he's put in a great show, and like we did see there, we see another goal from Twala. I think that was a great. He's just smashed the ball past the goalkeeper.
He's a roving left back. He's a modern day left wing back.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
it is.
Cucurella.
Without the hair. Impressive what we've been able to see in the first half. And these are some of the stats coming in there in terms of attempts on goal. Obviously, Scotland have the upper hand with 18, and then shots on target as well. They have 7. A lot lacking in terms of Manika Diamonds in this encounter. We are building towards the second half. What can they do different?
Well, I think the inexperience showing within the team, really lacking a leader that can also tell the players to try and keep possession, try and pass the ball around, not rush to go forward when there's no one up front. I think they need to keep possession, knock it around, and help each other go together as a team going forward.
For Manica to get into to really get into this game, they have to deny Scotland the ball. Scotland is a team that plays the ball around and they are very patient. So like now they are leading 3-0. So they have to press. For them, if they can get an early goal, maybe we have a good game in our hands. Because right now it's all blue.
It is all blue as well on the screen. Walter Musona,
hey, look at
that pass from Walter Musona.
And then Kama Billiard just making sure that it rolls into the back of the net. Those are the celebrations.
But of a team player.
Indeed.
Yes, sign of a team player. He could have taken a shot at goal and maybe we could have scored. But he went for the easier one.
Yeah, and that's how you get the results. Do the easy things. But there is something that I noticed coming in from Manika Diamonds, the first half substitution. Sometimes we laugh at them, but was it called for the change to release one player and bring in another defender?
For me, I think I give credit to the coach, because he's seen something that's not working and he wanted to, it could be a tactical change. Not that the player was playing bad, but it's a tactical change to want to also improve the game and want to change the game, and that is why the coach made that substitute, and it was a good substitute for me.
But I think if you look at it, is Herbert at the bench? I didn't see him.
Yeah, that is a talking point as well. He's not at the technical bench.
Who's backing instructions from?
Maybe you could say that he's the new coach coming in. There are those that have been running the ranks, but for a coach, there is also that confidence. You can tell when you see your coach at the technical bench as a player.
Because the coach is the one who instills everything that you do into the field of play. So if he's not there, it means you're not going to get instructions. Because as a player, not everyone is tactically sound. Some they want to be told. But I think also his absence is also a factor into this game. Because if he was there, you know, he's a psychological prowess. So he was going to do those psychological things that he always does.
Yeah, a difficult start on the job for Herbert Marua. Going into the second half, what do you think the conversations are like? Maybe we believe he's waiting for them in the locker room. What do you think the conversations are revolving around?
For now, I think for Herbert Marua, you need to do a lot of damage control. They're already down by 3-0. He needs to talk to his guys to try and work in terms of a defensive structure. Going forward, they're not posing any threat to Scotland. So the best is just to have a low block, sit and wait for Scotland to come at you, and maybe try and catch them on a counter. I think have a low block.
How can you go for an attack when you don't have the ball?
Exactly.
So they have to press. The first thing they have to do is deny Scotland the ball. They have to press. If they don't press and Scotland keeps... Because Scotland, what they only do is they do the simple things. They do the simple things.
Okay.
Of which the simplest of things in the field of play is the most difficult thing to do.
Okay, there you have it. It is a first half, absolutely spectacular. Scotland on 3 goals, and Manika Diamonds yet to give a reply. And we are hearing that some of that off-the-ball body language coming in from Manika Diamonds has to change going into the second half. But for Scotland, it is a working machine, well-oiled, and hopefully they continue to do so in the second half. So we're crossing back to the commentary team, and they'll give you the rest of the game.
So welcome back to the second half here at Rufaro Stadium for Match Day number 20. Scotland have managed to put 3 in the first half. Since the beginning of the season, 3 is the maximum number of goals they've scored against any opponent. At the moment, they scored 2 plus they've lost any game since the beginning of the season. Manika Diamonds are currently one of the 2 teams at the bottom of the table, anchoring the other teams that are also fighting and those that are also fighting to win the title. But now coming into the second half with the new manager and the 10 of the season as well, as we are almost 3 games past the halfway point, what will Manika Diamonds Herbert Marua do to make sure that they salvage the season? Is it too late? Is it a change for managerial that has come too late? Or there's still an opportunity for Herbert Marua to save this team? We are going to be coming back and to give you the last 45 minutes. Maxwell, we said you'd have loved to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room for Manika Diamonds. What is the way to go for Herbert Marua, for the likes of us Pande, to start being visible more into the second half?
Yeah, it has been a very difficult first half for them. But you always want to forget about whatever happened in that first half and focus on the second. I think the 3 goes down, and you have to think about what you want from the game. For Manika Diamonds, they would have wanted a point. I think they would have been glad if we were to ask Maroa whether he would have loved to have a point. I think he would have been glad to have it. But now, their 3 goes down, and it's up to them to play like a team that wants to get back in the game. When you are down at the bottom, it's always difficult, and you won't have as many chances and as many games to save yourself. I think it's all about keeping your heads high and focusing on the positives, building up from the first half. They did try to go forward on a few occasions, but all of that was in vain, especially when they conceded that 3rd goal towards the end of the first half.
So now we have a few moments from the whistle that will signify us getting into the 45 minutes. That is the goalkeeper for Manika Diamonds in your picture, Geoffrey Tsumba. Will now be situated at the very end. He has put in a number of good stops. And is looking for divine intervention before the whistle was blown for the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, I prayed once in the first half. Now a second prayer in the second. Probably just trying to keep himself in the game. I think he's been one of their best players so far, regardless of the situation they are in. But it has been the back four which has definitely been letting him down. He's made a few critical saves, one from Knowledge Musona and the other from Walter Musona, almost getting injured in both occasions. Chitsumba, but he's played so well despite the 3 goals that he has conceded already.
The players were waiting for the match officials being the last to leave the dugout. And before we start the game, double substitution coming in from Manika Diamonds. So Raso Kaiki will be coming off together with Manzunzu. These are the 2 players that are going to be coming off for Manika Diamonds. Libat Manzunzu and Raso Kaiki. So Malon Maziriri will be coming on. The man who was with Harare City at some point. He has seen the better part of the Kasalaga Premier League. And he has also traded his talent in the Northern Region Soccer League, now known as the MCME States. And Rosario takes us off for the second half.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise that Scotland has kept it exactly as it was. Probably just a bit of time before we see the substitutions coming through. Is never keen to substitute what is working. And Manika Diamonds making those substitutions, trying to get an impact on the game. Also trying to at least get a foot into the game and probably get a goal or 2 for themselves. Or even just to keep their goal shot.
So Malon Maziriri, who has been introduced on the 10 off the halfway mark, an exciting player on the 2025 season for Harare City. He was the player of the season and the players' player of the season. Joint top goal scorer for Harare City with 8 goals in 38 games, Malon Maziriri. So hopefully he's going to make the fortunes change for Manika Diamonds this afternoon. And Asguru Pandey has gone down holding his face. Maybe an elbow. A collision between 2 players of the same team. Pascal Shumbai were together with Oscar Rupande just involved in that collision.
Yeah, Rupande probably was not watching the ball that time around. He's back against the direction where the ball was coming from. A very unfortunate collision between the two players of the same team. It's probably one of their best players as well, Oscar Rupande. Very impactful going forward. You definitely you don't want to be losing such a player in a game that has already been so difficult for you. A good attendance coming through as well to this game. A little bit chilly in Harare on a Friday afternoon tonight, but shows you where the season is and where it's going with Scotland, the defending champions. Definitely now putting a foot on the pedal towards the business end of the league season.
Well, it isn't turn out for the fans who have come for this afternoon kickoff here at the Rufaro Stadium. They do call it the ceremonial home of football. Shidolo in the middle of the park finds Mahomadi Saka, who tried to play with the outside of the boot, but instead he leathered it with the tip of his toes. Shidolo, so much space for him. Kamabiliet was just making the run, and Shidolo would try. Fenoma shot! Oh my word! Moses Shidolo, you beauty! The moment he dropped the shoulder, you could see that he was aiming for one thing, and he has found the back of the net. Genius from Moses Shidolo.
What a strike from Shidolo. Incredible. But he just get the space, and he was having a thought about it once or twice, and that time around he just took the shot again, hitting the crossbar before bouncing into the back of the net. And the flight of the ball shows you exactly how powerful that shot was. And that time around, Godfrey Chitumba could only watch as that one sailed over him into the back of the net. A beautiful goal from Shidolo. Impeccable, that strike. Unbelievable. And Scotland scored their fourth early into the second half. And they're just piling on the misery on Manika Diamonds, who have no idea exactly how to play this game now.
The man from Namibia making his name known, Moses Shidolo. Now Benzi, you can put one back. Oh, hits the frame. Unfortunate from Fortune Benzi. Managed to do his bidding well from the right side, bidding two defender on his way, but unfortunately he couldn't beat the goalpost.
What a response that could have been from Manica Diamonds, despite of where they are. I think that could have definitely made them feel a little bit better, getting one goal back. Unfortunately for Benzi, hitting that post as well. A little bit of a wake-up call for Scotland, who have most of their attempts with 11 attempts and 3 attempts for Manica Diamonds now with a corner.
So corner kick coming in. Nelson Chachga with the safest hands. So 50 minutes gone and Scotland have already posted 4. This is the first time this season they've surpassed the 3-goal mark. The first game they scored 3 was against this very team on match day number 3. Scored against FC Hunters. And now they've just posted 4. It's also about the confidence, and it's just impossible to stop them with this current form that they are in. Msona losing the ball now. Charles Teguru looking for options. So many defenders up forward than they are attackers for Manika Diamonds. Malone Maziriri probably getting the feel of the ball since being introduced. And Masidera with a loose pass. Now Shidolo trying to find Walter. Now Malon Maziriri. Almost playing in an unfamiliar position, always wants to operate as a Mercurial number 10. A roving midfielder, Malon Maziriri.
Yeah, just looks like that was the wake-up for Manika Diamonds to get their play together now. Getting much of the ball as well after getting down to that fourth goal. I think it's just the amount of space that they allowed Shidolo to be in before he took the strike. He could count the seconds and building up to that absolute cracker from Shidolo. But nobody really came up to him to try and block that shot. And I think that will be the disappointing part for Maroa as well, in terms of how his team has shown up in the second half.
Now Mtogosi Simsebe knocking it comfortably between him and the skipper, who was pretty unselfish when he teed it up for Kama Billiards. Peter Mudua. Sebe. Mapesa is one fortunate manager having a galaxy of stars in his fold. And now Muhammad Isaka, first time cross, Knowledge Msona. He points to Muhammad. It's 5 for Scotland. It's 8 for him this season. You just can stop a man in red hot form. And Knowledge Msona is exactly that man. Impressive, fantastic, beautiful to see. It's all in one picture for Scotland.
Yeah, and runs down to the celebration for Sona, going to the bench, and just gets the acknowledgement from his teammates as well at the best day. You just have to admire the build-up, a beautiful pass from the midfield and a one-time cross into the box, and Msona is always there, and you can never doubt Knowledge Msona. So close to the goal to give you the finish that you want, and that iconic celebration came through after that. A good shot at goal, the goalkeeper Chitsumba that time around going the other way again, and the scoreline not reading quite well for Manika Diamonds with still some minutes left in the game. And there you go with the celebration. And it's 5 for Scotland with only 54 minutes played. Almost a goal each and every 10 minutes now.
Oh, Scotland are running riot on this defenseless Manika Diamonds. Man, it's a song that we've sung since the beginning of the match. Scotland, the first team to inflict a heavy defeat on them. And that's Marvelous Nakamba, the Warriors captain, also enjoying proceedings here at Rufaro Stadium. If you were to ask the Scotland players, the answer would be, we do enjoy playing against Manika Diamonds. And of course, if you're to ask these Manika Diamonds players, they will tell you they did facing the Scotland side. Now cross would pass to Isak Muhammad. Now tearing up Kama Billiards. Saw the run of Moses Chidolo and thought he was going to just be waiting there. But Askar Upande together with Masibera read it quite well. And that is Herbert Marua in your picture. Not on the dugout, but he did do the pre-match interview. So now there's a substitution with Fitzgerald Banda leaving the field of play, and on comes Daryl Zulu.
Yeah, I think we knew exactly how this game was going to pan out in terms of who was going to get most of the ball. But exactly not probably the scoreline that Manika Diamond would have expected. after having a good draw against Ngezi. But I have to look at how much space they've allowed Scotland to have. And that's why they're 5 goals down now.
Now Banashim Timbanyoka crossing it to Walter Msona, who cushions it to Moses Chitolo. Well, Rosario blow it. Walter plays it to Msebe. Scotland not stopping anytime soon. Now another one. This time from the left back. Kwake Twala trying to go for the second. He can try it. The team is indeed leading by 5, so why not?
Yeah, after that impressive goal, Twala going for the second. A very good strike again from Twala. Flashing across the face of goal. It could have been another classic goal this afternoon from Scotland as well. And then Manika Diamonds probably having the worst start again to the second half. We thought it was a little bit improved towards the end of the first. But now Scotland look like they're a different beast.
Now Scotland looking for Kama Billiards. But he wasn't charged too soon with that run, and he's been flagged for offside. And Marks, there's a movement on the touchline for Scotland. Abu Bakar Moffat will probably be coming on in a few moments. And he has been the man in question with his position now occupied by Moses Chitolo. Good quality overall for Scotland.
Yeah, both players always difficult to choose between the two. And Chitolo already has had an impressive game. And what a goal as well to keep that performance with. And Moffat will know exactly what he's contesting with. But impressive all around from Scotland. And I think in the first half it was Squala with all the space on the left flank. Now on the right flank. It is also seen space again awarded to the like of Musebe and Mohammed. And they've been able to add on the pressure on Manika Diamonds.
Well, the idea is to overload. Now, Knowledge Msona also trying to hit a cracker. The message to Chitolo is, I've done it before, but I've seen you do it today. And maybe I might try it. And it looks like it's Knowledge Msona who's going to be coming off. The smiling assassin with a goal to his name. And on comes Abu Bakar Moffat. All smiles as he walks away from the pitch.
Yeah, impressive from Sona, I would say. As we just see his goal one time again. Clinical from him. Always in the right spaces all the time, Knowledge Msona. Probably one of the key players for Scotland now. Moffat getting his chance as well. Probably one of plenty of changes to come soon. With the scoreline now leading 5-0. I think Nomina Mapeza will be now agreeing to at least getting the subs in.
Oh, Norman Mapeza is a man who doesn't change much, but with a scoreline like this, you're bound to give those French players some minutes. Now Mthokozi Simsebe finding Kama Billiards. Kama Chitolo who crosses it in. Poor cross from the man who scored earlier. Now the newly introduced substitute for Manika Diamonds, Dario Zulu, finds Fortune Binzi on the left. First time cross, straight into the hands of Nelson Chaja. And confirmation of that score, 5-0 here at Rufaro Stadium. And the Manika Diamond fans still hopeful. Even with every misplaced pass, they are still cheering and showing that it's not just about the goals conceded. It's about supporting the team up until the last whistle.
Yeah, I think they just have to enjoy the game now. They have nothing to lose at the end of the day. You're 5 goals down. You probably want to get a goal or two and probably at least make a difference on your goal difference. That is probably the only way to come up with some positives from this game. It has been a difficult game so far. Still plenty of time remaining, probably 30 minutes or so.
Now Moffat getting a few off the ball. Peter Mudua closer to the center line. Timbanyoka Shidolo. Exuding lower body strength, Moses Shidolo. Rosario says play forward. Maziriri. Looking for Fortune Binzi. Binzi does so well to keep the ball in play. Marked by 2 players. I almost thought that was a foul, but Rosario says, get up. That's soft.
Yeah, a little bit soft from him. I think he knew that he had gotten out of control of the ball and was trying to win a free kick. But quite interesting to see Moffat and Shidolo at the same time. Probably Nomin Mapesa trying to see something between the combination of the two. And probably in the future, we might be seeing the two playing together tonight.
Well, these are 2 players that give you a solid defensive structure. And maybe the moment you play them, you really take out that attacking urge from the side. I think with this 2, it's more about maintaining that lead more than anything else. Masibela back to his goalkeeper, Chitsumba. Quite unfortunate afternoon for Chitsumba. Did so much well in the first half in some instances to keep some goals out.
Yeah, I think it was impressive, regardless of the 3 goals in the first half. Very unfortunate with the 2 goals that he conceded in the second as well. If you look at that strike from Chidoron, absolutely nothing you could have done about that. As well as that one from Musona. I think the defense was well beaten.
Kama Billiard. Side net. He wants to have double figures. The former Mamelodi Sundowns man and Kaizer Chiefs man. And also Yada man. Well-travelled Kama Billiard. He's done most of his football in Southern Africa. Or the earlier play from Manika Diamonds. So Daryl Zulu turning quite well on the left side closer to the byline. He was just trying to play it through for Malon Maziriri, but it went straight into the hands of Nelson Chachka. Young player there, Daryl Zulu. Kama has Mtimbanyoka to his right. And Mtimbanyoka goes down after it's been bundled by Pascal Shumbaimwe.
Yeah, the referee just making sure that Shumbaimwe knows exactly that he's riding on his luck. I think Manika Diamonds will resort to those kind of challenges, especially when you're not able to get much of the position. So it's difficult to stay in the game.
Now Panashim Timbanyoka will take his time before floating it into the box. Now finds Mtokosi Simsevi. No one is marking Msevi. Allowed to run through.
Oh, just ridiculous, is it? And again, I think the yellow card will be out. Sorry, Jandai. Just in particular, with that run, nobody really coming close to him. And again, they resorted to that kind of a foul. And Msebe being taken down there on the edge of the box. It just shows you the frustration that has gone into the Manika Diamond players.
Askar Upande was clearly asking for it when he brought him Tokosi Simsebe down. But you could see he was on the flank and was just allowed to weave his way through on the edge of the box without being confronted by any defender. Now with knowledge of Msona out, it's probably going to be 2 of Walter Msona and Kwake Twala.
Yeah, quite an interesting position again for the free kick. Mutimba Nyoka just trying to set up his wall.
Questions are going to be asked of Geoffrey Chitsumba. 5 have already gone past him. And this is a free kick that Walter Msona will favor. The skipper waiting in anticipation. And doesn't bit the wall. Not his best, Wotamsona. And they do with a corner kick.
Yeah, I thought we would have left it to the man in form, the man on fire, Shidolo or Twala, to take that one. But we all know what Wotamsona can do from that range. And they'll also get another corner. I think they've been very good to react in the second half. After getting Manika Diamonds to play a little bit in the face, they've definitely made sure that they've put a seal on what is going to be an impressive win for Scotland.
Now another one floated in. Chitsumba parries it away. Pupaka Moffat. Mtimba Nyoka. And Masibera deflected away. I was almost lost for words when Abubakar Moffat was launching that one.
Yeah, Chitsumba not happy with his defense. Quite angry in reaction. And the shots flying around. That first time shot from Abubakar Moffat. Quite a clean contact. And on the rebound again, good defensive work. Just to concede a corner.
Now another one floated in. Shidolo missing it. Teguru trying to initiate a counter charge. It has been difficult for Manika Diamonds. They are playing a side which I believe is far superior to them, considering the misfortune they have had up until matchday 20. And we talked about it in the before halftime, that changing 4 managers in just under 20 games doesn't even help the players as well. But they believe that Ebert Maroa is going to salvage the season. They are not ready to go down into Division 1 football. Malone Maziriri to Lawrence Masibera. Masibera being marked heavily by Kama Billiards. Maziriri finds Askrupande.
Yeah, they've been able to get hold of the ball a little bit now. But when your 5 goes down, possession doesn't really matter anyway. It's what you do with it. If you're going to play it forward, you better do that and try to at least get on the offensive rather than just keeping the ball.
So Chitsumba being allowed to play from behind. First time we've really seen them do it. And under 69 minutes, Malon Maziriri finds Fortune Binzi. Binzi was looking for Daro Zulu. And there was just a foot that was nicked in by Nkwaketwala. Brother Isak Mahomed, I beg your pardon. Kwaketwala, Isak Mahomed, or Mahomed Isak are 2 fantastic players. They found life easier here at Scotland, or rather in the Kasulaga Premier League. And what we have to feel for the likes of Albert Manenji, was having a lot of game time under Tunderai Ndirai. You took off your time on Machope as well. Terence Tsukamanja, quality players. Even Emmanuel Ziocha, probably leading the charts last season in terms of assists and goal contributions. And then you start seeing Kamapiliat getting in form, Waltamsona getting in form, Knowledgeamsona getting in form, Umsebi. You'd have to start asking questions. When is going to be my time?
Yeah, always difficult, isn't it? Especially when everyone in front of you is performing the way they are. Just shows you about how that investment in the team is paying off now for Scotland. I'm probably going to go 2 in a row in terms of the championship with the way things are looking. And if you're on the bench, if your time on Machope, probably a leading goal scorer at a certain time, you're probably looking for those cup games, or probably in the CAF Champions League, you're probably going to get a run or two. And, when you get that chance, you always want to impress and make sure you don't get called off to the bench again.
The dilemma of a coach with so much quality. Kamapiliat teeing it up for Wotamsona. Playing Kamapiliat, but he was coming from an offside position. For two players who usually find each other, it's the telepathy that just didn't work this time.
Yeah, the combinations that we've seen a lot of time again, that time around not really linking up well, but you can see exactly what they wanted to do and why it has been so difficult for Manika Diamonds to mark those two players in front. Now, going into the last 20 minutes or so, of course, plus the referees at the time, I think Scotland will be eager to score a sixth there.
Pascal Shumbaimwe brings it down comfortably. Daro Zulu, a fantastic young player, still showing signs of life. Wants to play his good football. Doesn't matter the scoreline is against them. He's just showing that play, and it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely one of the positives for Manika Diamonds. Crying for the ball, you are Zulu, coming in as a substitute.
Malone Maziri dropping a little bit deeper. And also you have to talk about Kama Billiard and the way he has found a new set of legs. You'd be thinking by this time he doesn't press, he doesn't run, but just look at the way he's making it difficult for the defenders.
Yeah, unbelievable. Not only in this game as well. We did see him in the game which they played in Leicester Sports against Caps United. And probably that's why he's leading the goal scoring for Scotland.
Msebe to Mtimbanyoka. Moffat making it difficult for his equal number Teguru. Now Moffat crossing it for Kama Billiard. Should have gone for him for it himself, Kama Billiard, but decided to play provider for Wotamsona.
Yeah, probably should have done that exactly. Kama Billiard, I think he did have the chance. And then he just saw the gap being closed down in front of him. And then the pass to Sona was a little bit short. And it was the defender who managed to get to it first. But that could have been another chance for another goal for Scotland, definitely.
So now Kama Billiard will come off. One of the star players. He has taken his tally to 9 goals after scoring. And now you'll be replaced by another fantastic player, Nathan Mtasa. He hasn't really seen so much game time under Norman Mapeza. And you'll be looking forward to just impress the new gaffer, Mtasa.
Yeah, always difficult to get a place in this team. I think he'll get the last 15 minutes to do exactly that. I think with also some cup games coming up later on, they'll be able to get those chances.
Well, Scotland with 5. The scoring being opened by Mtokozi Simsiri. Well, you have been mentioning the cup games quite a lot. And remember, the Monomotapa Cup is upon us. And we're going to be seeing a lot of unearthed talent together, rubbing shoulders with a lot of these polished players from the Kasulaga Premier League. And also remember, the World Cup is still being brought to you on ZBC, the nation's biggest broadcaster. So do tune in for the selected games and watch the action as it's taking place in the US, the Mexico, and Canada.
Yeah, it looks like we also use the World Cup goal, ball rather, in the Kasulaga Premiership tonight. I wonder if it does also have that technology.
Well, there are still aspects that we really have to catch up on. But it's also good that we are in line with what's happening with the rest of the world. Now Nathan Mtasa has been flagged offside. The number 66.
Yeah, that time around, just going a little bit early. Mutasa, you'll be eager to get that chance at goal. And probably just put the cherry on the top and score the 6th goal for Scotland. But Manika Diamonds still being a positive in bits and pieces, I would say.
Talbot Shumba together with Timon Machopi on the bench. Two players would want to get in and feel the action. And I know, Mark, you are hopeful. You still believe their time will come.
Yeah, I think they'll be asking the question of the manager whether this could have been the game that they get that chance, especially when the team is leading by 4 goals to 0. You'll probably feel like that will be your chance to at least get a few minutes in.
So Pascal Shumba went with the restart. Making direction the ball from Carlson Chirwa. Playing it back to Nelson Chajga. Risky, but it works. Good pressing from Manika Diamonds. Carlson Shumba. And they go back to their goalkeeper. Recycling play. Masibera. Just look at the way Oscar Upande is dropping deep, almost playing as a centre-back himself. The versatile midfielder.
Yeah, and that's the difference. And also the Manika Diamonds forwards staying behind the fullbacks of Scotland without any assistance coming through from the middle of the park. And so it's going to be difficult to try and supply those forwards in that setup.
Scotland now just knocking it around. Abubakar Moffat's also integral in that, in keeping position and making sure they don't concede it, which is something that on the opposite end, you know, Oscar Upande is going to be doing. But I believe today hasn't just been their day. Hasn't been allowed to knock the ball with so much confidence as we'd have loved. And we saw even Russell Kaiki, who usually joins them in midfield, being taken off at half time.
Yeah, I think, and also on the other side for Scotland, and Norman Opeza, is probably about player management now, because you really want to keep everybody happy, especially on that bench. You know, of course, you do have your key players, those you trust to be in your first 11, but you always want to give some time to the rest of the players on that bench.
Now, Abubakar Moffat was trying to play his wing back through. Kwake Twala scored a cracker in that opening half. Emmanuel Ziocha in your picture together with Albert Manenji.
Yeah, they won't be too happy about the time as well. Still doing your warm-ups, and there's only 10 minutes remaining. And the team is leading by 5 goals to 0.
What can you possibly do? And in your picture as well for Manika Diamonds, that is Hat Zulu on the right side of the two players, and Clinton Stole. Earlier, it was Fortune Beans that had been brought to the ground, just took a tumble after it had been notched from behind. Almost closer to the end of the match, with 10 minutes of normal regulation time remaining. Dario Zulu, tricky customer, but he's being marked by a very experienced Peter Mudua. Also physicality coming into play, and this is a contest that Dario Zulu has lost.
Yeah, but he'll keep on going, Zulu. I think he has tried all he can after coming through in a very difficult match. And if you're coming in as a substitute and your team is 5-0, and the manager is expecting you to be the change, I think it's always going to be difficult, especially with the kind of control that Scotland has managed to have.
But the most amazing thing is, for the first game, you would have thought that Eben Maroa was going to be the dugout, but decided to find a very less conspicuous place for him to sit. Just look at how impudent now Walter and the rest of the Scotland squad are. Just teasing their opponents, because I do believe they've won this one. You would dare to be a Manika Diamonds player and a fan at this point.
Yeah, almost the game reduced to walking pace now. I think they tried to press Manika Diamonds for a certain time. And now just allowing Scotland to pass the ball around as they may.
Shidolo. Another Mtasa. And Manika Diamonds almost look like they've also thrown in the towel. Shidolo. The crossfield pass failing to get it to its intended target. Dano Zulu. To Teguru.
Manika Diamonds passing it to the back as if they're the ones who are winning by 5-0. They've just not been able to cause any harm or any problems for Scotland this afternoon. And the scoreline itself doesn't tell the full story of what we have seen this afternoon.
So now the substitution, the double substitution from Scotland will now come into play, with Emmanuel Ziocha coming in for Kwake Twala and Albert Manenji, the left back, coming on for Walter Msona.
Yeah, impressive Twala. There's a go to his name as well for his very good performance this afternoon. And the bench should definitely acknowledge that Walter Msona as well. A decent shift from the captain himself, as we are probably going to be seeing that wonderful goal from Twala. A beautiful shot, a cracker, almost bulging the net here. I guess if you check the net tonight, it might have some loose ends on it from how powerful that shot was.
And a substitution as well for Manika Diamonds, as Zulu has come on for Fortune Binzi. And talking about our goal, almost looked like Kwake Twala was trying to uproot the frame of the goal.
Probably another crack on the frame. A powerful shot from him. I think it's been very impressive. But also we have to talk about how much space he has been allowed by Manika Diamonds on that left flank, overlapping into the box.
Shidolo found alone. Mtasa making the run forward. Tokosi Simsebe, who want to hit it alone as well. Daro Zulu. Any chance of playing it back might result in the Scotland forwards getting to it before the goalkeeper. Malon Maziriri. It's quite unfortunate that when you're playing against a side that is full of quality, your creativity or your creative abilities might as well be restricted. If you've seen him from his days in the Northern Region Soccer League, you know how much he loves going forward, how much he is that creative player. Now Moses Chidolo. Moffat finds Panashim Timbanyoka. Almost looking like Isaka Muhammad is now tired and out of the confinements of the field. It was looking for Daro Zulu, who still looks like he has a little bit of energy, the young player.
Yeah, Mapeza still encourage these players to be up to the game. I think they've done the hard work. The likes of Muhammad were running around from the first half and are now into dying embers of this game. They'll be looking for a break. And the score card definitely supports the kind of shift that they've been able to put through. And Nomin Mapeza was talking about how it's always a team effort for Scotland, not giving praise to particular players regardless, always making sure that he takes note of each and every player and the effort they've been able to put in through in terms of this season and why they're on top now and looking forward to take an unassailable lead on top of the log table.
A very young player, Dino Zulu, representing Zimbabwe, the Young Warriors at the under-17 stage. And if you have been following Scotland too, you would know they do have a Chakuchichi, who was the captain of the under-17, now Emmanuel Ziocha. Ziocha has 3 players coming to him. Ziocha winning a throw-in. And we're talking about how good it is to infuse the wisdom of the elderly and the energy of the young in terms of setting up a team. We have seen Caps United with a young Alan Mkombezi. And now there's a Manika Diamonds with their Daro Zulu, who's also 17 as well. So the future might be bright despite the scoreline this afternoon.
Yeah, but we have probably not seen as much as we want in terms of the youngsters breaking through on the Casablanca Premiership. If you were to compare to European leagues, you would probably see an average age in terms of the team squads being as low as 21, 22.
One player who always likes to apply the afterburners. He can fail you on anything else, but it's the speed that he will never let you down on. Foul on Muhammad Isaka. And it's the young Daro Zulu who's apologizing. And his defense is, it was not intentional. Msebi, there's another Mtasa to his right. Teguru, an industrious player, Teguru. Spirited effort for him this afternoon. So it's 2 minutes to be added. And we are done for today for the first game of match day number 20.
Yeah, good performance from Scotland all around. I think they have been dominant in terms of all aspects of this game. Manika Diamonds, I think, would have known that this game was always going to be difficult. But I don't think they've put enough effort to challenge Scotland this afternoon. And the scoreline doesn't do them any better.
So with this 5-0 lead not looking like it's going to change any time, if it's going to be changing, maybe Scotland putting another one in the last 50 seconds or so. They've taken their tally to 8 points. They now have an 8-point lead, with the rest of the Casablanca Premier League playing tomorrow. But tonight they sleep comfortably, knowing that they have done their bit. It's just good how fortunes change if you're looking into football. This time around last season, it was all a Mo's story, having gone to the halfway point of the season unbeaten. And Scotland was just there in the shadows. And now you look into how Scotland have started the season, almost taking that sport that most were occupying. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who was watching this live broadcast of Matchday number 20, from wherever you were tuning in from, the final whistle has been blown by Rosario. Mtokozi Simsebe, Kwake Twala, Kama Billiard in the 40th, Shidolo in the 48th. They've all put 5 against Manika Diamonds. A very difficult travel from the province of Manicaland coming into Harare. And it is the Smiling Assassin who put the final nail on the coffin. It has been a fantastic game, showing a huge difference in talent, of course, quality, off and on the pitch. Nomen Mapesa coming out victorious. What a game we did have on our hands.
Yeah, Walter Msona, Knowledge Msona as well, scoring the 5th goal for Scotland. Impressive this afternoon. They have been the defending champions and now on top of the log table with 8 points, as you were saying. Probably that will change tomorrow, but for now, I think they'll feel better because of that gap that they've been able to open at the top. Moses Dolo has been impressive, especially in that midfield area. And Manika Diamonds will have a long journey back home, trying to find a way around now to escape this relegation battle. And Abed Maroa, we have a lot of work to do. Also, Kama Billet just looks like they have been able to revive Scotland's season. It's going to be difficult to overtake them on top of the log table now with the kind of form that they're in. Scoring goes for free, freely rather, and just making sure that they keep on pouncing and spreading and increasing the gap on top of the log table.
Thank you, Maxwell. You have been very colorful and bright in your analysis. It is Scotland who are now on top of the table with an 8-point lead. That could change tomorrow, but for now they got to sleep comfortably. The front three impressive again. So now we'll switch over to Sandra for the post-match. We thank you all for being part of this live broadcast. Until next time, from me and Iceman and Maxwell Mandela, says goodbye.
Webiwa magic.
One, two. Yeah, we... Oh, goal kicker. All right. The game that was played here at Rufaro Stadium, now joined by a goalkeeper's coach from Manika Diamonds, Ndega Matsika. A tough game here at Rufaro Stadium. Take us through your thoughts.
Yeah, it was a tough game for us. As a team, we didn't do well today, but we expect our next game to improve from what we did today.
Yeah, looking at progressing, the idea here is survival from relegation. How are you hoping to achieve that with the new coach coming in?
There are still many games to play. The chances of surviving are still there. And I hope we're going to survive. I tell you, we're going to survive. The chances are still high. We will do much better than this. We're going to work very hard.
Okay, so tough luck in this one, but all the best in your next game.
Thank you.
That was a coach coming in from Manika Diamonds, telling us that survival is still the goal with 14 games to go in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League. Apart from losing by 5-0 in this encounter at Rufaro Stadium, they are still hopeful, even with the coming in of the new coach, Herbert Marua, who was, for the most part, especially in the first half, missing from the technical bench. They believe that they can turn the tides around and maybe survive relegation. And looking at Scotland, the team that was able to get 5 goals past the goalkeeper coming in from Manica Diamonds, they were able to win, and the winning coach is here with me today. Players scoring from all over. Good game that you've managed to have here, coach. Take us through your thoughts in terms of how it went down in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think we had a slow start. First 10 minutes of the game, it was a little bit slow. Then after we got that first goal, I think it calmed everybody's nerves. And I'm happy today. I think there was a lot of contribution from all the players. If you look at the guys who scored the goals today, the defenders, midfielders, and it shows that we are moving in the right direction. The goals are coming from all departments. It shows we're moving in the right direction.
Now 16 games with clean sheets, and also your players are scoring, the majority of them. What are you doing right? What is the secret here, coach?
We're just working hard, and I think the guys now they really understand what we want to achieve. They really understand the main objectives for them as players, and for us as the technical team and the club objectives as well. So the secret now is for us to keep working hard and just see how the season progresses.
Now, defending the title is the question here. Is the light now clear in terms of just defending the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League title?
Look, we still have some more games to go. I think about 14 matches to go. So we can't talk about the championship now, because there's still so many games to go. We just have to stay focused, keep working hard, like I always say, and see how the season progresses.
Congratulations, coach, and all the best in your next game.
Thank you.
That was Coach Norman Mapeza taking us through his thoughts and ideas about how the game progressed. And now we're about to see the player of the match in terms of how he was able to find the back of the net. We've got Twala here, scored the second goal in this encounter. A big congratulations, the lucky batsman of the match. How are you feeling?
I'm very excited, and this is for my teammates. If it wasn't for them, I'm so grateful and I'm happy.
Scoring goals, is that the idea going forward? Are we looking at make a number that you're saying at the end of the season, I want this much goals?
Let me say 10, because most of the games I've been going forward, I've been bringing crosses and I wasn't scoring. So I think this first goal, it means a lot to me.
Okay, celebrations after this one. What are we looking at?
No, I'm just going home to chill. I'm just going to chill because tomorrow we're doing recovery since we played on Friday, so there will be more days to rest. So I think tomorrow it's recovery, then 2 days rest.
Yeah, a big congratulations and all the best in your next game.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was Kwake Twala. He was able to get the second goal in this encounter and is the one that managed to win the player of the match, and quite exciting that the team is going to be coming back to seal things off. It has been a beautiful encounter. Scotland 5 goals, Manika Diamonds nothing to show for it. A long journey coming in from Mutare there. What a tough game it was for Manika Diamonds.
Definitely a tough game. It will be a long journey back to Mutare. I know it's 275 kilometers, but it's going to be more than that. I mean, they lost this game in the first half, and where they were down 3-0 coming into the second half, it was more of damage control and a tough fixture for Manika Diamonds. They came up against fired up Scotland, who was shooting from all cylinders.
Yes.
It could have been worse, but they managed to keep it at 5.
Yeah, talk about those players. Kama Billiard on your screens. He was able to get the third goal for Scotland. You talk about the old guard. You say that age is just a number, especially at the start. And you could see the contribution. Knowledge Musona as well. He was on target in this encounter.
We are blessed to have Kama Billiard and Knowledge Musona in this league. These are intelligent players, clever players that know what to do with the ball and when they get it, they can create a lot of problems, and that is exactly what happened.
Yeah, and also Thokozi Simsebe was also on target as well. You talk about Twala, he won the player of the match, quite deserving
Player of the match, and I think he was roving well on the flanks, overlapping from the back going forward, and I think he did a great job.
Yeah, indeed. And to join us in the conversation, Maximo Mandis, you were doing the analysis for this one. Take us through maybe your thoughts in the whole summation of the game.
Look, I think it was always going to be a difficult game for Manica Diamonds if you look at the setup as well. And, considering 5 is never going to be easy, especially when you're down there in the bottom trying to save yourself and you're looking at your goal difference, because you never know what it comes out to. Probably at the end of the season, that goal difference is going to be important. But for Scotland now stretching their league at points on top of the log table, I think they'll be quite glad with where they are as the defending champions as well. So quite a very good game for Scotland at home. I think we expected them to be as dominant, but not probably as much as 5 goals across Manika Diamonds. Their goalkeeper, Chitsumba, I think was probably their best player, regardless of the 5 he conceded. He tried very well in that first half, but they were just not showing up to the party, Manika Diamonds. And I think it will be a very difficult start now for Yebet Maroa. His goal, he knows it. He has to save the team from relegation, and he will have probably a few more games to go and to try and do that.
Yeah, indeed. Do you know what? Looking at this particular game and the development, 8 points leading Hard Rock. The coach says it's a bit too early to talk about the championship. But are we going there? I'm going to hold you there. We're going to go on a short break. We come back and try to seal things off and understand what just happened here at Rufaro Stadium. Scotland 5, Manika Diamonds 0. There also flattered is the game that we're going to be witnessing tomorrow, Caps United and Triangle United. But just taking off from where we left off in the previous segment, we were just talking about Scotland picking up now 8 points ahead of Hard Rock, and Coach Norman Mapeza saying that it's a bit too early to talk about the championship, but now we are seeing it. We're almost there.
Well, as a coach, you will say that this win is just saying, catch us if you can. Okay. And that's a statement by Scotland. They're saying the chase impact, if you can catch us, and I think they will win this league comfortably. I think Hard Rock and Caps have not been consistent in terms of the way they've been playing the game. They've been drawing, and Hard Rock also lost to Scotland. So they've done the job, Scotland, and it's just now a matter of who can beat Scotland. If they can beat Caps, if they can beat Hard Rock, now who can beat Scotland? Maybe Dynamos, maybe another team, but it's now a case of when will they wrap up this championship. Given that they'll also be playing in the Safari, they'll want to quickly wrap up this league and focus on the Safari.
Yeah, indeed, a lot coming in for Scotland, and looking at their prospects of winning. One of the key things is how they're able to find the back of the net. 5 goals in this encounter, and also keeping clean sheets now at 16.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lomena Mapesa will be quite glad just looking at those stats as well. The attempts at goal, I think they were just overloading those attempts compared to what Manika Diamonds managed to get. And to get 5 goals off those attempts, I think is a little bit fair enough. The way chances that we thought probably it could have been 7 or 8 in terms of how creative they were. And so at some point, Kamabilat as well, they did get the chance, probably trying to overdo it. But it shows you how creative this team has been. I think Norman Mapesa has a very good headache of trying to pick who plays and who doesn't. From the front as well, Kamabilat looks like a new player. You would think that is only 20, Kamabilat, Knowledge Msona as well. And being captained by his younger brother, I think he would be saying, young man, I think I'm the one who should be having that armband. But they have just been impressive. And also going into that midfield, I think there's Abubakar Moffat and Shidolo with that quick of a goal. I think that balance that they've been able to find, you talk about the rest of Kwala. I mean, I think they've been just brilliant. The combinations have been very good. And like what you were saying, they've already done the hard work going on to the last part of the season. And I think they'll be confident enough that they'll be able to defend their championship.
Yeah, talking about who to play, the second half changes coming in from Coach Norman Mapisa.
Well, I think for him it was just a matter of just trying to run out the game. He had quite a number of Arsenal on the bench that he could have brought on to play. Any player could have come in and done, because the damage had already been done at halftime. I mean, your time Machobe was warming up, but he didn't get a chance to play. You've got Juka Manje also didn't get to play. So they've got a plenty Arsenal that can really cause havoc. For Scotland, it's the starting 11 that really should pose a lot of problems, to say, if I lose my place in the starting 11, when will I get back? Because when the players do get the chances, they are being they are keeping the chances. We see that chance there by Scotland.
Yeah, I think, sorry, Sandra, Spencer, is exactly what he's saying. I think for Norman Mapisa also has to balance out in terms of just keeping everybody happy. I mean, your 5 goes up and you still have the likes of Machope, like Spencer is alluding to, on the bench. He probably wants to give him probably the last 20 minutes of the game. And as we were just saying, some of those chances.
That goal from Twala.
Impressive goal from Twala coming through. Yeah,
just smashes the ball past the goalkeeper, which was a sweet left foot.
Yeah, did off the crossbar to just rattle things up, shake things up, and that was the start of the massacre for them. And continuing forward, you look at this particular side, their ability to find the back of the net. Now we're realizing Kama Billiot is now on 9 goals. You look at Knowledge Musona as well, is now on 8 goals. So the numbers keep increasing and they keep on scoring.
Yeah, that one in particular was quite impressive. A team goal, I'd say.
That was a team goal, all started by Knowledge Musona. Then look at that pass to Kama Billiot from Walter Musona.
So the dummy, was deceived by that one.
So the dummy, like he was taking a shot and he just squared the ball to Kama Billiot, who was in a better position. And the goals, the way they're being created, they're coming from all angles. All the front players are creating the goals for Scotland.
Yeah, I think they've also been very comfortable on the ball going in front. I think that's how they've been playing all season about. I think if we go back to the game at the National Sports Stadium, we did see a little bit similar goal. Also that assist coming from Kamabilia to Knowledge Msona in that 18 area, and they have done this all the time. And then seeing that celebration, acknowledgement quickly from Bilia to say, well, thank you so much to Walter Msona.
The silver plate.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed, teamwork indeed, and they continued the massacre there.
For me, that was the goal of the day. I mean, look at that, Shidola, how he beautiful struck that ball.
And he tried it again a bit later on, but it was off target. But he knows exactly that I've done this during the practice sessions.
Yeah, but look at just how much space he was allowed by Manika Diamonds in that particular time. I think he was trying to, he fainted the shot for 3 or 4 times before actually taking. Yeah, definitely. And that's the disappointing part. If I'm Marowa watching that from the bench or from the stands, looking at the team and the amount of space they allowed a very good team like Scotland to have. You never want to give them those chances because they do have that technical ability, I should say, and probably that one from Sona, another clean finish. Nothing that Chitsumba could have done about that one.
Yeah, talk about that experience. He's done this before many a times.
He's done that before, and I think that's experience telling. And look how he just placed the ball past the goalkeeper. Nothing the goalkeeper would have done. Yeah, it was controlled finish. Where he took it, far from the goalkeeper. I mean, look at that finish.
Yeah, absolutely impressive coming in from Scotland, and that smile, they call him the smiling assassin.
And he's on fire. I mean, he can't stop scoring at the moment.
You want to he should probably come back and also come ability to lead the Warriors, because these guys, they look like they must not be taking any early retirement.
We're actually talking about with Sandra and Yvonne saying Walter Msona, Knowledge Msona, as well as Kamabila. These are players that should be called again in the national team. And I think especially in the qualifiers for AFCON, I think they can take us to AFCON and we can also go and showcase.
Yeah, and the side that they were playing against is Manica Diamonds. Looking at the log table at this moment, we talk about Manica Diamonds. 13 points coming into this encounter, still on 13 points, 2 in 7 draws. It had 10, losses. It has been a tough start for this side.
Yeah, look, I think there was a very interesting stat that came through before the game began that they had conceded as much goals that Scotland had scored themselves. So
27,
yeah,
to be precise.
Exactly, and then you add those 5 as well. It doesn't look good. I think, when you're in that relegation battle, it's all about the mentality that you have towards each game. And I think they would have, if we were to ask Maroa if he would have accepted a single point before the game had been kicked off, I think he would have definitely accepted that. And you want to build from a single point going forward. It's a difficult game against Scotland. We all knew that it was going to be. But then if you add 5 minus goals to your goal difference now, it makes it a little bit much more harder. With much more difficult games to come towards the, to the business end of the season, I think they do not have enough time. They still have a chance, but they have to make sure that they put their house in order before it gets too late.
Yeah, and the new coach, Heben Marua, going MIA for a moment during the game, and also the post-match interview. He wasn't there. Take us through, as a coach, how would he feel after a game such as this? This is your first game.
When he took up this job, he knew exactly what he was taking. It's not like he didn't know. I mean, this team is sitting at the bottom of the table, second from last, and I think he knew exactly what he was doing. What they need to do is try and get new signings to try and beef up the team. Because without new signings, this team is lacking quality and is lacking leadership. And the only unfortunate thing, it's the fixture they came up against with Scotland. They're on form and they're destroying everyone. And come the window period, add a couple of seasoned players, a striker, 2 good midfielders, maybe a defender because they've got a very good goalkeeper. And then they can start working the way, fighting the way out of relegation. As long as they don't sign new signings at the window, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also let's talk about the match officiating. Some infamous, conversations we've had before, but in today's game, what is your verdict? How was the center referee for today?
Well, I would say decent enough. I think we have had difficult games sometimes in the Casalaga Premiership, but I think that problem is not gone away. And I think it's always very good to try and build from the positive that we see. Sometimes the fans do not agree with the referee's decision, but at the end of the day, the rule says it is final. And there are some questionable decisions that could have been made, and you would ask yourself, well, was this really a foul or not? But if you try to, pick on each and every, decision that the referee makes, then you are probably not going to give them any confidence either way. Because sometimes around you can see that the referees end up just making a decision to appease the fans and everyone else. But I think it has been decent so far. We have had some games in the season that has been probably questionable in terms of the decisions that have been made. But I think we should be taking from the positives and trying to improve as well.
Just to add on to that, I think the ref this afternoon had a good game. I think we didn't have any controversy, any decision that I might say he blew the wrong way. I think he was on top of the situation. The 3 officials did a sterling job today. I mean, Scotland were Scotland.
Yeah, I just think there's also another issue that we do see the referees with those communication keys sometimes around, and there's some other games that don't have them. I think if there's a little bit more consistency in giving them those gadgets, I think they definitely make their lives better in terms of how they go on with their officiating.
Yeah, big game indeed here at Rufaro Stadium. All the predictions that I received were wrong. But at the end of the day, it was Scotland 5 and Manika Diamonds 0. Tomorrow we're back again, Caps United taking on Triangle United. Another massive encounter as we continue match day 20. From me, Spencer Nyamadzao, Maxwell Mandizidza, I, Sandra Maganye. It is a goodbye for now.
It's not a new term, but a continuation of progress. So, Zimbabwe, let us build our Zimbabwe.
Forward again. Hatizokere shure, 7 years strong to the Kuvaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Forward again. Hatizokere shure, 7 years strong to the Kuvaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Umbiro redu, rakanyorwa neso, tinori chinja kana nguva yasvika. Tinofamba nenguva nyika ichikura, development ndiyo yave kutungamira. Makore manomwe basa richionekwa, ma project ese opera zvakanaka, kwete kungoramba tiri mu election mood. Ngatishande tese tite zvinhu good.
This constitution belongs to the people. We can amend it, make the system more equal. Time for development, less campaign noise. Building the nation, giving up to the boys. 7-year cycle gives time to complete. Roads and the schools make the country compete. Less money wasted on elections again. Put it in progress, invest in the land.
Tina bantu sivuma ndawonye, mthetho wethu siwubhala sonke. Uma isikhathi sichinja siyaguqula, sifuna intuthuko ilizwe liyakhula. Iminyaka yisikhombisa iyasiza, ama projects onke azophela kuhle. Asifuna ukuhlala sivota njalo, sifuna umsebenzi kusasa lihle. Hatizokere shure, 7 years strong to the Kuvaka future. Forward again. See politics tishande, not a new term, just progress we handling. Forward again.
Shumba murambwi, maita murambwi, maita shumba. Matikaha kuona chiso, hekani chibwa musheriketi. Vadzimba vedu variritiri, mutsika panyoro vana vachivi, vakanyairi vadyi vemhuka. Maita shumba yangu iyi, hekani bumi rangu riri, maita vamari, chipamutoro, vari nyaningwe, vari chamota. Maita shumba, mukwevera kwasviba, asingadyi chokupamba. Maita vamhungudza, vari baradzanwa, zvaonekwa vamari. The Shumba totem is believed to represent very strong and competitive people, owing to the might of the lion, which is considered the king of all fauna. There are various subclans of the lion, which include Mazi, Murambwi, Gurundoro, Jichidza, Mutasa, Nechinanga, Nyamuziwa, and Sipambi. This is the reason why there are various clan praises, Netembo, each in line with relevant clan. Some believe all these totems were divided by the forefathers in order to facilitate intermarriages. For some, it was to evade enemies, and for others, the clans came about as a result of merging with other totems. While the reasons for the emergence of various subclans Zhidao are varied, it is believed that all stem from one great ancestry father, Neoreka, the mighty king who migrated from Tanganyika, now Tanzania. On a lighter note, some say the Shumba are characterized by greed with a large craving for meat. They are also aggressive, ambitious, great hunters, fearless and fierce fighters. Even their women, Masivanda, possess similar attributes. What we know about the lion. The lion is a well-muscled cat with a long body, large head and short legs. Size and appearance vary